That's a little bit too few.
Waiting for the silver recombobulator.
We're missing the Wukong
Okay.
as well. Oh no, not the
Yordle
tech.
opener.
Go fast 10 off of 2.
And right now, everyone just needs to play for points.
Bin with one of the strongest starts in the game. Still would have preferred the Nico, but just using the Rumble instead now.
One consideration for both Bin and Aaliyah, if they're not very low in HP totals, they can decide to hold their artifact animals and still stage 4. This would eliminate all the gold generating artifacts from the pool, so it would make it a little bit less random if they're looking for specific artifacts to enable AP comps.
Unless you really want Mogul's Mail.
From 3-5 onwards, maybe not the best use of a gold generating artifact because you've missed so much potential to make money.
All right. Well, a lot of these boards starting to come together as we take stock. We've got a 5-win streak from Li Cao, 5-loss streak from Saya. A lot of gold there for Saya as well. Holy, 50.
We will see where he decides to land up, and I have a feeling that Saya is going to vacate the Draven line sometime soon. We basically never see him contest. He's always trying to play his own path. So this is what good players can do, right? They can wait until the 3-2 augment, pick what has the most synergy with their board, and then pivot elsewhere.
Dasik found an Mbessa already. What?
You won and best.
Has a Juggernaut emblem as well. That's a very interesting game actually set up here. Has a long shot +1, so torn between maybe committing to build or more, using it just for resources for now.
Everyone just waiting for the augment round to kind of decide where they land up. People don't want to go into 4-cost AP flex. I feel like if they're offered an off-ramp here, they will take it.
Dasik could play into Slayers as well, potentially, with the long shot emblem and the Juggernaut +1 as well.
Especially important for Mori, especially with the Silver Destiny giving him that power up. Can he hit the Prismatic? If it's just a gold, that's a massive low roll for him.
We'll see.
And it's a gamble he didn't opt into himself. I guess he kind of did. It's a gamble that became another gamble, but we'll see if it ends up paying off for a player who needs it. Only on 3 points, 6th place in game 1, needs to come back in this game 2.
Oh!
It is going to be Prismatic.
Trifecta!
Does have Trifecta. This might
Trifecta.
push Revan off of any kind of reroll angles, considering it's a very good spot to take this.
Oh, but if you're Mori and you need points, do you not want to play for?
Don't confuse my boy. Don't confuse my boy.
I think he's scouting Revan, waiting to see what Revan commits to. Revan has picked solo play. That's a pretty good tell. You want to play into either Leona or the Darius reroll. Most likely the Darius, obviously, if it's Revan we're speaking about. We do see a Darius too from Saya as well, with advanced loan on his roll down. I think he's actually pushed to 7
the
early
Darius
and
players
used
group
up
each
all his
other.
patience rolls. So this could be a 3-way contest into some kind of Noxus line.
Wow. I mean,
Whoa, early Azir as well. Very
Wait.
interesting setup here from Saya. On
Wait.
3-2. Forced to rematch
Prismatic
this time.
Shurima.
That's the alternate game plan that we were talking about. I don't think he has the HP to pull it off, but we'll see if he can summon the Xerath. The most important thing about the Xerath play is you have to win one of those matches. So he's choosing, he probably should choose to spike very, very hard in the next round.
What a smart use of both of his augments here. Spiking on 3-2 instead of waiting to 3-5. Does want to stop the bleeding right now and also make the game plan a little bit harder for both Mori and Revan in the process. Really interesting. I think very CN-esque, right? Pushing lobby tempo so much in stage 3.
Yeah, does want to avoid, like we talked about, just getting stuck between Lux and Lissandra is probably the worst place to be on the patch. He's actually looking for the win right here.
Bow diff.
And that does mean he can lose the next one. And then spike 3-5. What are these 4 costs? Come on, it is making it a little bit anticlimactic if he's getting that much free stuff.
The Swain? Oh, and is he going to put the Darius back in the pool? No, he's just going to make a weaker board.
And Revan has to be sweating. He is fully locked in as well into the 3-cost line, has the Darius items, has a solo play, just probably scouting around and saying, uh-oh, are people catching on to my game plan? Am I finally being contested on this strong of a line?
Well, I mean, Dasik called it out at the beginning of the day, even before we got into games.
I will say for him, the most likely scenario is that it's just a 2-way contest, right? Because Mori and him are probably locking heads, but Saya is taking himself out of the contest. He said, I actually have a better line to play for.
Do you
with
ever
Xerath."
take this and actually go Jinx instead?
Yeah, for Mori, I think there's a good chance that he actually ends up on Jinx. If he can find the copies, sometimes it's better to contest if you just don't end up finding anything.
And the items are just really good for Jinx here as well. The better than they would be on Draven even. Whereas Revan has less of an out, having already built some AP items.
Yep.
I guess you could play into Leona, Malzahar, Zoe, but it's Revan we're talking about. I don't think he's pivoting.
No scout, no pivot in a different sense.
Are there any big spike units for Saya here? That's going to be the question.
It's a Swain pair, right?
Oh, okay, denied. Does pick up the Guinsoo's Rage Blade, so if he can just round out his front line and no one spikes harder, he wins the 3-5. Xerath early, that is a disgusting game plan.
That's crazy.
Revan has either the Guard Breaker, the Sterak Slam if he wants it, or he can hold this for a potential Nashers if he can see he's losing these next few rounds anyway.
Ooh, I want to see the epic conclusion. Oh, well, there's an
Latent
artifact
Forge.
first. That's the Latent Forge.
Looking around, Demacia long shots for Bin Bin.
He didn't hear you.
Gold
He
Collector's
has
very
Gold Collector.
Gold Collector's very good actually.
Oh, I no.
Gonna go for Wit's End in the end on the Kaisa. Yeah, two very good options for long shots. And Bin Bin's
I mean,
a
he
player who
had
played
a
4
void
games
staff
of long
slammed,
shots across
so
the 2 days
Ooh.
yesterday.
You didn't want Kappa
And on day 1.
Juice.
Kappa
No,
Juice,
no.
unfortunately, is not my cup of tea.
It looks so cool though, with so many hats.
Did Saya spike hard enough? That's a big question here. Oh, he got the Seraphine too?
Wow. So surely that's a
Yeah, this
Well,
guy's just a
still
high
having
roller.
Gold or rolls left over from Patience, and now he can hold the Patience rolls even further in stage 4. Again, can push for fast line, potentially has in a front line. And the Azir scaling as well to unlock 3 more units to fit in naturally. I mean, really, really strong setup here from Saya. Another game. There's the Xerath unlock already. We're on 3-5. That is just absolutely crazy.
Does he have enough HP to lose now to unlock the Nasus?
I don't think he even needs to be honest. Nasus is preferred though. That is definitely true, but if I'm in his spot, I'm happy to not lose HP.
Cool. Just getting Renekton in and get out.
Yeah, he's so far ahead of the lobby tempo, he doesn't actually need to find the tank.
I mean, if he just 4 loss until win out.
Revan, yeah, finally gonna move the items, have the Sterak onto the Darius. Maybe wanted to greed it for a double solo play, double Gargle Stone Play, but instead gonna go for the Steraks.
Huge find for Aaliyah as well, one of the best mana regeneration items. Dawn Core for Lissandra and Invokers is going to be absolutely deadly when he does
And based
get
on the
there.
fact that he,
Vhagar!
when it actually, no, it's still be 4 loss.
That's a pair for Lee Cao. With the explosive growth means that you can actually start to get up to level 8, maybe even get the 8 Yordles in, try to get the Yordle grab bags, get some extra items in gold.
This
But
is
if
a
he did
classic game
lose
plan we
win
saw
lose,
at the start of the set.
it'd be one
where
run
the Yordle
faster.
was nerfed a bit, where you use Yordles as a way to just very cleanly tempo straight to 9. It's back when Annie was by
Because if you win, loss,
away
win, you have to
strongest 5
lose
custom
4
kind
for
of is now,
Nasus.
as well in some ways when she's 2-starred. So that will be the game plan for Lee Cao. Has still quite a bit of HP to work with. Ideally wants to preserve, you know, around half.
And like
of
having
this
like
going
one of the
through stage
losses
4, get to
in
stage 5,
stage
his level 9 roll down onto
3-7 would probably be better for like HP.
I'm pretty sure Saya got gold.
So they're probably
I
just
don't
not
know why
going
he has 67 gold after rolling
for it.
down to 28. That has to be a Xerath charm. That's crazy amounts of gold.
Yeah. There's a Jinx pivot we talked about from Mori. So Revan has been respected on his line.
I feel like it was always going to be a bad choice to try to contest Revan or anybody on a 3-cost reroll, but you can pick another one with Trifecta and you're fine.
Yep. Mori will have a very hard task ahead of him. He's only sitting on 1 Jinx copy.
A little bit awkward for Saya here. No tank items that could come back to bite him coming into stage 4 if his 4-2 augment is not some way to itemize a tank to buy time for Xerath to cast 1 or 2 times.
Big
Where
roll
is Darius
down.
2? Darius 2 should not be a hard ask, but there are a lot of players that are holding that. Mori also had a Darius 2 earlier.
Wow.
Sure it got sold, but this is
Oh, he's
tragic.
Ooh, just
Still
barely
going.
not able to get it in time. And that might punish him. Word from Lee Cao, he might get a free win because it is going to be just a Darius 1. We talked about the Darius being the frontline where once he dies, everything kind of falls over. So really important to have that Darius 2 upgrade here.
Yeah, that is kind of the only upgrade that matters.
Weak board, Lisa just still trying to coast around and get 8 Yordles, cash outs online. This is how we saw the TOC regionals pan out. It was Huamie winning at the end with 6 Yordles. You tech in the Volley Bear and the Shyvana. But maybe the Vigar is strong enough. He's hitting the backline already. Not enough units to take damage.
4 components unslammed for Revan, so I think it would be surprising if he could win this one. I think he just agreed to lose at the moment he couldn't get the Darius too.
Final augment, duo Q. We did have the advanced learn from Saya, so he's going to have to pick a silver augment.
I thought Revan had to take the cash there. Actually skipped the malicious monetization. He's so far away from his copies though.
Maybe he wants just more items, you know, seeing the downfall of Noxus reroll in the last game, Draven not having anything.
Goes for Pandora's. I think he knows he needs some backline. I just don't like this. I think, as you mentioned, Clement, he is just far, far behind. Wow.
Oh.
Triple luck shop.
Put that in instead. Why not?
And this is Demacia Longshot Master across the first 2 days. Bin played it more
That's
than
kinda
any other
illegal.
player. Found a lot of success on it. Has a very good build on this Kai'Sa here with the Rage Blade, the Wit's End essentially replacing the Gunblade and the Archangel, so it can really scale as a solo carry.
But at this point, I wonder, do you actually just take these items since you have this Lex 2 and try to go for something greater than just the long shot?
I think you really want to play around the Wit's End, and it's only going to be especially good on Kai'Sa in this meta, I would say.
You don't want to put it on a Silas?
Later, if he shows up.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
He could show up.
Darthnub also contesting on the Demacia long shots, but he has been beat. There's a lot of Garen copies already gone. Critical frontline missing for Darthnub. Can he pull off another miracle?
Trust. I mean, that's a Kai'Sa 2, so that's a pretty big upgrade if he wants it.
I feel like he has to swap at this point. That's such a big boost.
It has a good build for it as well, with the LeBlanc items plus the Gunblade here as well. 2-item Garen is a little bit sad. Garen 1 especially is also a little bit sad. Darthnub, I think, finding himself once again in the same exact position. Last in the HP totals, starting off this stage 4. Once again on the Demacia line, this time the AD, or more long shot oriented version. But without the Garen 2 here, it's going to be pretty disastrous. Aaliyah, one of the strongest players in the lobby right now, off of that Dongfor pickup.
I like how Darthnub had the same game plan in 1 and 2, basically gambling on 5 costs. Gilded Steel gave him that chance again, but this time not really finding the Zillion.
I think
that
the
he
Dark
needed.
staff might have been better on the Kai'Sa and the Void staff on the Lux.
Galio stun there. I guess enough for now. And Aaliyah has rolled down to 0 as well. It's not like Aaliyah's trying to push 9 and just taking his hands
Over
off
the course
wheel
of
in stage
combat,
4, so a pretty important win here
Kai'Sa's
for
gonna
Darthnub.
proc the Darken staff more often.
Revan
She
on
ramps up.
last life. 9 HP and a Dream. Still no 3-star upgrades for those Noxus units.
We have to lock onto him after we come back. This is going to be the roll down that defines his run. 32 gold. He's actually very far away from the copies the last time we checked. Maybe Mordog will bless him for another game. He is the Draven caller after all.
And even if there aren't players going directly into the reroll line, the fact that a lot of these copies were out of the pool in stage 3 where you're not hitting the natural shops with Darius is also a problem. And this is definitely a spot where Revan, we've usually only ever seen him from very high roll Darius spots.
Wow.
Navigating a low roll spot is a difficult part here. It's only 3 copies of Darius still. I think there's no salvaging this game, to be honest.
Thank God. He can't keep getting away with it.
What do you want, Wei? We're still 5 copies off, but if Necker believes, I believe.
I believe.
True, true.
Well, the Draven is nice, but I think the same problem.
Draven is
means
not
that you have
important
to rely on the Swain to
relative
be
to the
that
other two.
secondary frontline for you. And there are still 3 Darius out. Saya has been on this Darius too, even now.
I think that for Revan, he's just thinking that, okay, this game's probably done. There's a lot of situations where you don't even build the Draven 3. You try to go
Yeah.
for the critical carries right here. He knows that his chances are so low that he's willing to, gamble for the 1% chance comeback. And he's facing another strong board against Aaliyah. Still no Lissandra 2, though.
Perfect fight RNG as well. The Volibear jumping onto the Darius. The Darius just barely healing himself back up and not dying, getting a lot more effective HP across his fight. So it's about fighting for placements for Revan. I think trying to outplay Darthnub is a big thing here, and then see if he can maybe win a few of those fights with good matchmaking in stage 5.
Dasik is locked into Bilgewater. and actually has 7 copies of the Nautilus. You get the Bilgewater Lesser Duplicator, so you're actually only 1 off, and there it is. He will have a Nautilus 3 once he's able to buy that with the Silver Serpents.
The problem is we still have 2 fast niners in the lobby right here. Both Lee Sao and Saya once again
Saya's
holding hands, going through the
mixture.
promised land. It's going to be so hard for these people stuck on 8 to actually contest this, even with the 3-star Nautilus.
Revan fighting Dasik now. Dasik has hit quite a few spikes. The long shot emblem on the MF with the very cool synergy between adding the Caitlyn and the Lords with the Warden. Makes up a pretty strong board here for Dasik.
I'm pretty sure it's correct to play for the Nessus.
Looks like LeBlanc now targeting down to the MF.
Because he hit the Xerath so early, so you can guarantee
right before she dies,
wins
he does get it off. So Revan will be surviving at least one
later.
more round here.
Because he also has so much money.
That's tough. I mean, now the HP totals have gotten quite close. You're looking at Saya, Dasik, Darthnub, maybe 3 players that Revan is hoping will fall first.
And Saya has to find 2 tank items here, or he could be in fairly big trouble. Yes, the Xerath is very good, but he has no frontline items whatsoever right now, and once the damage starts ramping up in stage 5, with the big DPS carries, he could be in trouble.
He has 100 gold, though.
Yeah, the gold is very strong. I mean, we saw his
If he
position
had unlocked the Nessus, he would
before, right?
immediately be able to
Double
spike.
cycle still needs tank items. Even if you're level 10, if you have no tank items, it's going to be a problem.
Even if your tank items are terrible, I almost feel like that much gold will buy you enough copies of just, you know,
Wait, Shyvana, yeah.
Like, he wants a
He's
win
up to
streak.
130 gold.
Oh,
Oh,
he's
he
rolling,
hit
he's
another
rolling.
gold charm? Please, come
Be
on.
9, he'd have Xerath 2 by now.
Please.
Okay, let's go. Oh, wait, I mean, if you get Annie in, there's the tippers for you, too, if you wanted that.
I mean, look, see, he has Xerath 2.
Xerath 2,
Wow.
that's absolutely massive.
Hold more copies. Why don't you?
And the Golem will help as well here, with buying some more time for the
Like, if he had the Nessus here,
fight-winning path from the Xerath.
he would pretty much
That
have
that was from Charms.
Yep.
Jeez.
it already.
He just got 2?
Alright, actually, I'm less impressed with this game because it came off a 1% Shurima roll. So, you know, this is standard. This is standard. Still very impressed with the execution and the roll downs, but very high roll game for sure.
Fun game.
True.
That's what matters. Well, that was an easy win, but can Revan be lucky? Darthnub as well, very close to elimination.
Wait,
Finally
teleport
able to
to
get the
Darius
He has the
3?
LeBlanc in shock, so he just wants to be able to survive this match.
It's just one fight. The long are ramping, but I think it's going to be good enough. The Darius is going to heal one more time. LeBlanc is still alive. The Kaisa is down. Revan has turned the corner right when he needed to. The 3-win streak now could become a 6-win
He can't keep getting away with it.
The Darius 3 now online with the solo play in particular, just so strong to get more HP alongside the resists.
How does he keep on doing that? He only had 3 copies on stage 4.
He's the chosen
Mori,
one.
you had one job. Just don't pivot off the line.
Do you know what he did? He waited for Saya to sell the Darius on his board.
Uh-huh.
And then he went roll, roll, roll. And we all know what happens,
That's-
the theory about how it comes in waves.
It's great that Saya had enough gold to roll that early in stage 5, or else he would have maybe hit the more typical 5-2 roll down instead.
Very
Darthnub
cool.
and Dasik, one of these 2 players will be going down. Demacia AP with a long shot to Kaisa, and Demacia AD for Dasik here.
I'm just looking at the Nautilus right here. He still has his shield on, hasn't been taken down whatsoever. Kaisa finally locking onto him, but is it enough damage at this point? Doesn't look like the... Oh, MF goes down in 1 shot.
The Juggernaut Garen is just way too tanky for the MF to break through. Unfortunately, Dasik not having the start of the day he was hoping for. A 7th place in game 1, now an 8th place in game 2. Now you do have to start playing a much riskier
Cold
first
water,
range style
just
to catch
bait.
up.
Oh, wow. We got news from Hupe-san, who's one of the reporters on the sidelines. Actually, Revan got the Darius 3 because he sold his Draven 3.
I think that's the right play.
Yeah.
That, I mean,
I feel
yeah,
like in
that's
those
correct.
situations where you don't have the gold, you have to sell the Draven.
Wow. I mean, what a phenomenal goal, though, to be able to get here with that was enough.
I mean, yeah,
There's
you're,
at least
you're
2
just
points
supposed to
that
sit
play.
Draven
Yep.
too,
Yeah.
and
And that's the master of the
till
line
you
to
have
know what spots you have to make some unintuitive plays to
like a
find
good amount of
places.
copies of the other
Once
two.
again, Darthnub facing a player that is also facing elimination with Revan here. Is the Darius going to be enough to heal past the damage coming out from the logs?
Like, maybe if
and
he
that
had
Kaisa
Draven
in the
items,
backside
but
for
he's
Darthnub?
building
The
LeBlanc
Garen's
items.
also really tanky here. The LeBlanc has to burst it down.
I think Kaisa just
Unlucky.
started on that unit way too late. At
But he
the moment.
teleported
It's not
to
over for
the
Darius. I think that
intended
B
result
might
anyway.
be a win for Darthnum. It's
1v1.
so close. The cast does not come through from LeBlanc.
Oh, thank God.
Revan is also down despite finding the Darius 3 in 7th place. And Mia, once again, 7th and 8th. Not a good start for the region.
No, I think it's tough because at some
Unfortunately,
point,
Darthnub is probably capped at like a 4th, but I mean, every point he can get.
Early enough. Imagine if he had found Darius 2.
So what do we want? We technically want
Saya
Saya to not be able to get into checkmate.
like that and you don't have a 7th,
So
5th or a 4th.
He was 3-way contested on the Dariuses, so
I mean, he'd have
it
to go
was
6. That's not going to
expected
happen.
for him to hit a little bit later. I will say
But
I'm very
ideally,
impressed
Saya
with
Li
Vin's
Xiao
game plan. I thought he was going
bot
8
4
very
so
quick,
that
but
it's
he
harder for them
rolled
to get
down
into
deep,
checkmate.
did not find the Kaisa 2, goes straight level 9 and sells it for the Ziggs upgrade instead.
I was considering it might have been a pivot into Anti-Flex off of the Yordles, but instead playing into the Ziggs, kind of the really OG way to play the Yordle line. Saya is, of course, a scarier player now. He has found both of those Warmogs now, has some more frontline, and the Xerath 2 has so much damage coming out from his cast with this build.
I do think this game is going to come down between Saya and Aaliyah, the 2 highest caps that we have on the board here. While
Is Aaliyah
Bin Bin
playing
is just looking
Fries?
for placements, looking for any chance to hang on.
Both Darthnub and Bin Bin had pretty good games to start off game 1, but now it's about just continuing to accumulate those points to get
I mean, Darthnub is just playing to steal placements. He took a win off of the...
Darthnub takes a win.
Oh, he also
and Bin Bin is
also
so
screwed over
close.
Saya's
Another
win streak.
win for Bin Bin, keeping them alive. Li Xiao now very close to the end.
CN is looking very impressive as a region. All 3 of these players putting up some really interesting game plans to try and make it to these high cap boards.
That is a disgusting Silas right here. That's known as the mini Triforce, the Yordle spatula. It gives you the extra armor resistances and the extra AP AD, and then you get attack speed and HP from Yordle. So it's incredibly strong Silas, probably the strongest unit we have seen in this lobby.
Who would have guessed 2 players on Ziggs carry coming into this late game?
Well, there was, at one point, what did they call it? Rigs? Well, there's no rise, but, you know. Same
Get
concept.
to the Xerath. Xerath has a bit of RNG in him.
It's just not enough frontline. It looks like once again for Saya, his board is melting a little bit too quick, does not have enough time to buy for that second Xerath pass to come through cleanly.
And down goes Bin
My
Bin there.
God, this
being
thing is-
basically destroyed by Mori. Strong combat augments across the board for him. Great pivot into the Jinx line.
Darthnub's a placement criminal.
Is this another top 4 for Darthnub? I would be
This
so
guy is a
incredibly
criminal.
impressed
It might be.
if he can dig himself
My
out
goat's
of these
doing
low
it.
roll spots again and again.
If he runs into Mori, though, I might be a little bit worried. You have 2 scaling backline champions with the Jinx and the Kaisa, and Mori has been on a roll. 3 win streak so far.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
do
this
think
board
that's
from
a
Mori is
pretty
absolutely disgusting.
tough
Bronze for
matchup,
life plus the,
given the
There's so much
declaw.
power coming through. The big thing is usually if you have this much combat, you don't have gold and you don't hit your 3 stars in the first place. But if you do hit that 3-star and you have all this stuff added on top, it's just really
Oh, Edge
hard.
of Night, that's really good.
Makes
hit.
notice that Mori actually got several copies of the Jinx and the Sejuani early, so it wasn't too expensive for him to upgrade those units.
Saya still like sitting on no
Saya, after
Renekton,
a
no
good start,
Nessus.
like you mentioned, just not hitting
It's
any
probably
of
not gonna
his
happen at this point.
frontliners.
Shyvana can save you only if she's 2-star.
Has one more anvil to work with to buy a little bit more time for the backline carries to work their magic.
Saya Elliot.
Aaliyah
One of these are
versus
dead.
Saya. Which one will
Who's
win?
Darthnub playing?
I feels like it must be an Aaliyah win here, just knowing that you do have the Zillion and Lysandra fully upgraded. But the Xerath, I
That's
mean,
the barrage.
I mean, the Xerath is like
Oh,
a 7
wipes out
cost.
the entire backline in one shot? That's so unlucky.
Wait, this Xerath is
I
paid
feel
off.
like it is going to
What
be
was
a
that
lot.
ult?
I couldn't
It
believe
only
that.
targeted
The Xerath
backline.
just said, I'm going to nuke the backline.
If even one backliner survived, there was a really big lull in the DPS chart. coming out from
Holy.
Saya's board. That could have been a win for Aaliyah,
Wait, that's a
but
third.
only the Wukong survived.
Oh
She can't
my
do
God,
it
this
herself.
guy is so-
Another
This guy's-
great placement from the American
That's
player.
so illegal.
A top 3 from a doomed spot. 16 HP, 4 loss streak on 4-1.
He's still
He can
Yet
go
again.
second here.
He's fighting for placements, but he just keeps.
Wait, no, I think he's
cracking
fighting
his
real.
way
I don't think
up the
Sai's fighting clone.
standings.
How did he beat that Silas 2 and level 9 Yordle? Cat Boar, there was a Volley Baron Shyvana there, but he still manages to clinch it. Absolutely insane stuff from Darthnub.
The Gilded Steel, I think, just really
Please,
impactful
you
as
take
well.
Saya out
This
in
specific
third.
setup. For the second game he gets in a row, that could be the secret sauce that he's piloting into this top 4.
Durability plus Juggernaut.
Oh,
Garen, that was
Darthnub's
the key
playing
to his
Ghost.
success.
Wait, yeah, it is. He can have me the
Another
second
big
here.
test here for Saya as it's now against Mori's Jinx board. Can the Xerath be as lucky as in the last game where you are able to snipe that back line? Jinx
need the
actually takes a
second
huge
cast.
hit.
But he's not down.
The Xerath couldn't
Okay,
reach
he's
the
dead.
Jinx on the opposite corner, and for that reason, Mori is able to win that fight. Saya is taken down.
Oh, it's a double
Darthnub
kill.
taken down as well. Mori, who only got 3 points in game 1, comes back in a big way. In the same way we saw all throughout day 2, a player who can really clutch it up and get those first places.
Not bad though for Darthnub. Back-to-back thirds. A great start for Saya with a first into a second place. And these standings are starting to look mighty interesting.
And Mia has to wake up. That is all I'm going to say after these first 2 games.
Daylight savings debuff.
EU has to wake up.
today.
And we do have to mention it's becoming a 2-man race in the next game. Both Darthnub and Saya can clinch their check right now and end it in just 4 games. Saya only needs a top 4, while for Darthnub, he needs to play for first. That's the only way he can accelerate himself.
What's the bet? What do you guys think? Quickly, before we go to break.
I think Saya
4 games?
Saya and 4-man. This is just way too high
Doing
roll.
Revenant 6.
Okay, I also thought Saya in 4, and I locked that in before we started the show. We're seeing it in full force. Let's see if we can make it happen right after this break.
Are we gonna show anything interesting here or no? Because they usually do. Okay. $17 filter. Let's look for a better comp for Graves Vex. Let's see what we can do with like just all these, if there's anything. Vanguard Bastion. If there's a Meeple Vanguard, that's ideal. Doesn't look like it. Voyager. Shepherd. Sonic Marauder. Okay, this is Vanguard. Shepherd. So the odd one out is like Jin. And then these. How much space do we have? None. We can fit 1. Is this a board that I have already? Isn't this just the anima board that I just keep getting back to? Pretty much. Except I have like Shen something over. Yeah, Shen Bard. I mean, a cap is a cap. I guess I'll update that. We're already in game.
is for Lee Sao and Darth Nub, because they can clinch check if they get the first place. But often times that ends up being the trap that you fall into.
Yep.
That's right. We've seen this before, where players are trying to go for high risk, high reward, but then end up on the risk side of things and fall short of their goals. However, I will say we're seeing something on Elia here that we've seen do well, and to everyone's surprise, has been performing decently. If you can get Shadow Isles started early, there are a couple of pretty good spots for it to actually take it to a good placement.
It's super conditional, right? As well as a lot of these compositions. Maybe not Darius as much, but a lot of the times you need...
That has a condition too. The condition is nobody else is contesting.
That is very true, or if your name is Revan. And so it will take a specific setup, but I do think that our 2-1 augments will have a great deal to do with that.
Yeah, for Aaliyah, I like his start here. He's already has 2 Wardens to play. 2 Wardens is such a strong front line. It's 32% of your max HP across 2 units. So he's looking definitely for a win streak angle here.
2-trick could give a lot of good options here. We do have a Yorick going to be unlocked. We'll go for replication instead and get some maybe more of these offensive items.
Dasic getting some free upgrades here. We'll opt to go for Shen actually as starters here. Could be Ionia favoring.
A very common play is actually to use your items and guarantee you hit the Orianna too early.
Yep.
But since he has the small duplicator, he might be going into the Draven as you mentioned.
A lot of people are favoring Ionia right now, playing this on their board.
Lee Sao, one of the players we were talking about, needs
What's
a
the Ionia?
first.
Spirits or
Could
Prosperity?
go for first or 8 comp, is on the Ishtal Expeditionist, so we will see him try to do just that.
I can't wait to see what his quests are. We have been seeing some absolutely crazy Ishtal plays so far, and one of them was brought to us by Saya yesterday with the Kiana 3 to start the missions for alternating win-loss easier.
Well, it looks like we definitely do desire to win right now. We're slamming items. We have upgrades on our board. We did also have a couple other augment choices that are a little bit more around the high cap. We have Revan taking Slam in to help you get higher in levels, but also Mori specifically taking late game scaling. That one specifically giving your 5 costs a lot more combat power.
We're also hearing from Nekra, who's one of our sideline reporters for this game, that Zaya, after we shouted him out for hero augments, was tempted with the Trials of Twilight as a hidden augment and did not go for it. Instead is playing around Bodyguard here. I would have loved to see it once more. He took it to a first place, but says, I don't have a Sin Sao 2. I'm not going to go around this path this time around.
I think that's a smart move considering how many Demacia AP flex we have been seeing in these lobbies over and over again. It's almost triple contested, and why that augment is almost never picked.
Across the tournament, though, it makes sense that people are going that direction because Galio and Ryze being on your board are the keys to success so far at the Tactician's Crown. Not only getting a good placement, but also going for those wins most consistently.
And Saya does look like he's just going for a top 4 composition, most likely going to the Slayer's line, holding on to 2 of those Yasuo copies for the Yone unlock. This might be the first time that he breaks that streak of top 2 placements he's had for 8 games right now, but I think it makes sense for his strategy.
Yeah, I agree. We're going to be seeing what our other players are on to. We mentioned Darth Nub's one of the hardest 3rd places of his life in the past 2 rounds. Maybe he can get a little bit of an easier time this time around here, but it doesn't look like he has everything settled just yet. We'll unlock the bar just to play around for tempo a little bit more. Could be thinking about Jinx, but we don't really have bows, so a little bit of an awkward spot.
I'll take a stab. I think he's playing Demacia. He's really comfortable in this line. He can play this from behind very, very well, as he's done so the last 2 games. Now, it hasn't translated to a first place for him yet, but, you know, 2 top 3s. He can go for a first possibly here this time and absolutely getting to check this game.
I mean, you know, really like to get first.
To a potential very strong Rek'Sai 2. Doesn't find it in the roll down, and I agree with you. I think he will.
I mean, I think it's fine to just top 4 and then top 4 again.
For him, the best situation.
Because if Saya gets into check,
a first
everyone's
place
gonna grief
get that check
them.
immediately.
So
We did get word that the Ionia for this game is Path of Blades, so a little bit
Path
more
of Blades.
combat-oriented. And you'll notice on the other side, there's nothing on Li Xiao's bench. Well, that's on purpose. 4 rounds of that in a row will get that first cash.
That's right. He is playing units on his board, though, which is leading to his win streak. Namely, this Kiana 2 unit, she is very, very strong. And we're also seeing an update on Elia, who is opting to lean into that Shadow Eye line for now, has the Yorick on board as players are picking from Carousel.
Very early unlock for Saya here. He was sitting on the Yasuo pair, now makes it into a 2-star. Means that he doesn't have to fish for that unit later on. We are going into Blades, which means that typically the cap with Ionia is a little bit lower. I think Slayers with Yone is a pretty good direction to go for.
2-star Yasuo being online means that as soon as we get to level 7, we will be able to get that Yone. That's often the hardest part, is getting that unit upgraded and then, placing items on there. But if you're able to play around that early and already have good items for the Yasuo, it can be a really key to success for some tempo Ionia play.
And how did he get that Darius 2? What is going on?
Well,
Actually, how?
I cannot tell you that, but I can tell you that
Yep,
Evan
look,
does
everyone's
not
got
have
big. You heard the question mark.
It's like, what?
0 reaction on Day 6 phase. He did check in saying Darius. That was normally our players write 1 in chat.
Look at
He
Mori.
said Darius. He meant it this time around, and
Mori
he
is
will
just
play
like,
on
what
it.
is
And
this
Mori
fucker?
not happy about this.
I mean, honestly, same, because Day 6 should be fine for maybe the whole next stage as well. I mean, we have great items. Also, we
How is
get
this legal?
one
He has a
close, and this
duplicator
thing is going to
too.
be unkillable already.
Can someone please make me a Mori reaction gif? It's so funny these 2 times.
We're getting word from Hoope that when he unlocked Darius, he had 3 of them in his shop. That has to be
Illegal.
the luckiest shop of this tournament thus far. Well, Day
That
6
is
chilling.
criminal.
Mori has a puzzle to solve in front of him once more, but it worked out the last time he found himself contesting Remen, went for the Jinx instead. If his items are gracious, he could be thinking about this once more.
I will say,
Not
for
with the
Day 6,
JG
he is
Shojin.
due. He only has 3 points, lowest in the lobby. Very, very hard low roll games in 1 and 2. So, okay, Mortdog, he's doing his job. He's giving it to him this time.
This game is balanced.
Yep.
Yeah, you get some good games, you get some bad games. It happens all the time. But that was definitely a blessing, and we'll allow it this time. We do see an interesting mirror match with a lot of people playing on Noxus this game specifically. It will be level 5 for Mori on the other side, where Bin also just playing around some strong AP items, which we know is a great plan. But it looks like we do have only one streaker in the lobby, and that will be Aaliyah.
That's right. We know he is on that Shadow Isle trajectory. It's a very strong unit to have early onward. That Viego 2 with items, as you're seeing here, and that Swain might have helped as well. He is having on his bench there, moving around a little bit. Quickly want to give an update on Li Xiao, because of course he is on the Ishtal line. He had the 4 rounds empty bench, as you mentioned, CLE. Now we're on 48 XP that he needs to buy in order to unlock the next one. So he should be able to do that rather soon.
And we've seen that be a great strategy, especially as we see a chain vest on our bench to go to level 7 and instantly unlock Nidalee. Ooh, lots of gold.
That'll help.
Instantly unlock Nidalee and Skarner to get 5 Ishtal in as soon as possible, and that's where we get the chance to go for some crazy cash outs.
I was just about to say he needs so much econ to actually make this work, but just hitting the golden orbs definitely helps.
There we are.
We're going to do it right now? We're going to wait around?
I try to pre-level there if I can stuff my Nidalee, stuff my Nico.
Yeah, I would just
Chain
go for
vest on
the.
backline unit.
Because he doesn't even get an
Again,
econ.
committing
I would
to
just
the long shot line.
level
Worked
unlock
2 times
Nidalee.
in a row. Can
or
you blame
not
him?
Nidalee,
He came
unlock
out of the previous game, which had so
Skarner.
many players on the Demacia line just angling it, was able to out-tempo them. I think that's perfectly fine for him to go down this route and say, I will keep doing what I'm doing until it's no longer working. For now, he finds himself opposite of Day 6, so he will get at least another loss on this loss streak.
Yeah, he did kill a single thing. But this is a composition that he's very, very comfortable with. He was in the scrims known as a player that was playing it almost every single game. And this was before it was nerfed. We do have silver augments coming through, so nothing too game warping. Unless we want to click Recombobulator, but that doesn't seem like a great option in this spot. But Darth Noob was somebody that we thought coming into this competition, because of the way he's practiced so much on this Demacia long shots line, that he would be someone we would expect to not do well. Now, he proved all the doubters wrong. I'm one of the doubters.
Focused fire.
Well,
Does that mean he's
the
playing
other player
AD
here is
Kaisa?
putting a little bit of pressure onto the lobby. We were talking about the fact that Lisao could go to 7. 2 players have. Ilya and
Disruptor.
Saya both going to 7 here to try and get early unlocks. Will try to get just that, and Lisao.
He's hiding his Ishtal into the last second, so nobody can scout him. I feel like that must mean a lose streak quest going on here.
He also got branching out and got Disruptor +1, which I feel like in this line is very, very good when you could play around that
Seraphine.
Seraphine quite easily.
Yeah.
It is 3 losses in a row. We are getting confirmation. You're absolutely right there, Clement. And just a nice little tech, you know.
You know
toggling
who
it out.
started all this trend and made everyone have to do faster APM?
Why we
It
always
was Double.
Oh.
Double started that last set. It was like, okay, now we all have to do it.
starts the
enough.
trend, and then everybody has to follow. Your favorite augment was also chosen. Bin Bin taking Dumbify as well, so gonna have a giant dummy in the front line.
All right, top 4 secured. Dasik, no! Dasik has the most broken combo ever. Twin Guardians into Darius 2. Please, how easy can this game be for him?
Oh, sadly, Ilya's win streak was broken just before unlocking this Callista, which would allow him to stabilize even more. For Dasik, I mean, we're chilling, no? I'm sure that's who Ilya lost to. This is absolutely unbelievable.
I'm not really sure if you should have leveled that aggressively if you have Dasik in your pool.
I think if you are on the point score that Ilya is on, similar to the top score points or the top point scorers, you need to try for some fancy plays, and so trying to hold pressure to me makes sense. I think his board was strong. Was it strong enough to contend with the Darius 2? I'm not sure, but he could have been lucky, right? He could have avoided Dasik one more round, unlocked that Callista, which I think in that case, it probably could have gone his way. So a little bit of a brave play that unfortunately didn't go in his favor here. We'll have to see how he recovers. For now, he has a little bit of HP to fall back on that he can use, but we will need to see what this carousel brings for our players, particularly those that are thinking about the Ionia line as well as the Demacia line. You know, there's a couple of target units there.
Darth does have a chance this fight because he has on such a big lose streak. Oh, actually, he just flipped into win streak. But he would be the most likely player to actually stop Lee Sao from getting his quest going. That's why Lee Sao is so intent on hiding all of this information. It usually never happens in solo, but when you're at Tac round and you have the chance to check.
Darth Noob has found that vein too, which we know is so important to this mid game. But we had a lot of people leveling early and pushing the tempo of this lobby super fast. And so I believe Darth was maybe aware of that and knew that he needed to stabilize ASAP, or this HP would continue to drop down way too low.
Alright, let's see if Darth does try to have Lee Sao on his pool. I think we should focus on just the Lee Sao cam and not get surprised if someone does actually just kind of crease their board a little bit.
Juggernaut emblem on this Garen, we've seen
again
a huge, huge problem for enemy boards.
Yeah, certainly a very good emblem to have in the current state of meta. I'm kind of looking at Mori, who would be one of the players that might be in a good spot to grief Lee Sao's lost streak, but I'm not sure he's up.
Because it makes him pretty much immortal in his ult.
HP on his own, so we'll need to see how that goes for Lee Sao in a little bit. We are also getting word that it actually wasn't Dasik who snapped Ilya's streak. It was Reven, who we are seeing on the other side here, so he is currently playing around this Zoe carry in the backline there, but certainly also thinking about going into Demacia in the long game.
With focused fire, I think the last vein item doesn't need to be another cracker, but like Giant Slayer.
But the forecast transition is going to be
what maybe an against
this game, and we do have a prismatic coming up, so a lot of players are.
And then the Kai'Sa's probably gonna go AD.
Well. There's a chance for a huge injection of gold. What does he take here? 125 not on the table.
Because while there might be some kind of tech with like AP Kai'Sa, like still auto attacking, so the AD is good. I think her base AD is like super low. Doesn't matter.
didn't have the board necessarily to win and go for alternating.
Good news is you can, you know, have
Zero
all your units die
LeBlancs.
here and lose, and then level to level 8 and put in that last one to get you to 15 just after 2 combat rounds. But not having something working for you over that neutral round will be a little bit
Guys
lost.
playing Ionia.
Certainly. Checking in
Decent
with their points
Ionia
leader.
items.
Saya has been playing around this Ionia line. We were talking about the fact that Ionia Yasuo is a pretty good option here with having Path of Blades, and he did get that Yasuo too early on, so has just been riding the wave on the back of it, but has also, of course, unlocked Yone by now.
Lee Shao at 395.
This is probably not going to be a top 2 game plan coming in for him, which makes me a little bit sad. It's not Spirit or Transcendence, so the chances that you can win out with this are slightly less. But I will say this for CN. We have seen over and over again, Yone as one of the hardest unlocks to contest suddenly turn into a Yone 3 and start chopping people up.
That would not surprise me at all with the amount of, am I going to say luck or skill? I'll go with a little bit of luck. Yeah, it's using your luck well that Saya has been doing. And so I'm excited to see if they do end up there. And we look like, wait, why do we have all those items on the on an Aphelios in the front line? It's a funny looking Aphelios.
There's a Diana unlock.
Guys,
Wait,
do you
no.
know what this unlock is?
Wait a minute.
He has
Oh,
arrived. Mori making true on his promises. We trusted
Wait.
you, and you delivered. He's bringing
Wait.
Aurelion Soul to the world stage, and it is 4-1. He has him pretty early.
Wait a
I
minute.
know you guys are both doubters, so I'm not even going to ask you what you think about this.
That's the roar. Mori was vague posting. He was trying to rage bait us. We thought
Oh,
it was
he was actually
Volibear. No.
specific posting. He said verbally he will bring a soul.
Oh, come on. When you said the roar, did you think it was Aurelion Soul? There's no way. That's like a fast 8, like directly to 8 composition.
You know,
Oh?
played 3
Not
times,
that bad.
only 8th once. The other times it was also about 4, but...
Oh,
but
I was going to ask.
The thing
Oh,
is,
one
I don't think the
so
spot
not
is
straight to-
that's good.
Oh, no. Why did you need to
Because you have to
call
play
that?
from
Wait a
super high
second.
tempo and then
Oh, that's day 6 board, and Revan's just, you know, standing on top
be
of
able
the unit.
to
She's just
survive
a
the
little jealous of
early
me.
bleeding,
Bait.
or
Of day
like
6
the
spot.
mid-game
Does
bleeding.
he get the Galio unlock?
So
That's
your
a big
Ace All 2
question
has
here.
stacks.
With 6 units, he only needs 2 upgrades. Okay, there he does. Okay.
Well,
And
I
4-1
have
complete.
great news for our Ishtal player as we are getting our prismatics in. He has found Mel, so we should be able to stabilize here, but let's see what the prismatics bring the rest of the team.
All
Revan
to
taking
chaos
all to
and to
chaos.
ruin your game.
At least I was still thinking about it.
Is there a red-blue
That's
button
probably like
for
TG.
Mori? That's the question I have on my mind.
Do they
That's
need invested
the
for
way that
anything?
you want to play the Aurelion Soul?
So he already has
I don't
a
think
red
so.
buff on his Mel
Oh.
outside of the augment.
Oh.
It's about the
Oh,
extra
that's 3.
dupe that
I mean, that's
you
basically the
need.
same thing,
Those
except
still
you
waiting.
get one earlier.
Call to Chaos gets 3 gloves here. Thieves gloves.
I do also want to check on Revan, who got
And
Call to
technically, it's a
Chaos as
slightly
well.
better
I do believe that it is not something that he was hoping
Band of Thieves.
for. He has 29 rerolls left,
But
to
no
use,
gold.
and no gold to
Oh.
spend. This is completely unideal.
He does have the Lissandra 3 angle.
Oh wait, is that 2 Lissandra 2s?
Yes, that's 6 Lissandras. That might be the win-out plan.
Don't tell them.
Mori, on the meantime,
He doesn't have
not
enough-
getting the
enough
extra
money for
dupe.
it. He has
Is gonna
the
go for lucky
Rerolls,
gloves here.
though. It's doable.
Any round you can win early with his Aurelion Soul is just a bonus because he's so weak in stage 4 when you only have that 1-star copy.
He did win the previous round, is the big story. So first round, Acel in, he did win that. Unfortunately, this one not won by Mori, but we'll keep an eye on the stacks on the Aurelion Soul and how he pairs up.
Okay, we will keep rolling. I haven't heard any pings come through
Yep.
or any chat messages. None of those things right now. No one has any Lissandras on their bench at the moment. And so I'm curious how long we're going to stick around on this and see if we can just hang out and fly under the radar.
We have one in Saya's shop is what our co-casters are telling us. So that one is currently not available to Revan. But he also just doesn't have the gold to be
Yeah,
that deep.
we do have to
unfortunately.
point out that is most likely out because he's so far behind on the rest of the board. Just not a very good call to Chaos. The carousel could be massive for him if there's an additional copy. In the meantime, Aaliyah does find the most important forward cross carry for him, but it's already getting challenged by the Diana. Damage reduction going on to that unit.
Yeah, the Lucky Gloves obviously paying off quite well there. There's great items on this Diana. And it
Big
will
Soul.
end up taking down the Callista. The A-Soul is starting to get online, and the later and later this goes, it will continue to ramp up and get more of those upgrades to its ability.
Well, let's take stock of the
No
lobby right
Lysandra.
now, as there is a Zillion and a Kindred in this shop that our players could be interested in. I'm just looking across to see 1 Ornn, 2 Ornn on these boards. Aaliyah would so like to have one,
Darth
doesn't
Nub
have
wants like
one.
an IE.
And we are looking at players like Darthnub who are still missing big upgrades on the Kai'Sa too.
He's making
Well,
decall
good news
first.
for Darthnub, though, it is a continued win streak. He's stabilized. He's playing that stage 4 quite well, and the end of stage 3 as well. And having all of these swords are going to be great to have good duo carries, and obviously that super solid gear in the front line. Once it's upgraded, it's going to be viable in the late game.
Can he find another quest directly to 625? That's
I don't know how many he has.
He's not going to get 4,500 damage. Let's see. Field 2 scars. 2-star Skarner. Okay, he's going
Okay,
for
he has to
more.
roll down, I guess.
Oh,
He's holding.
low rolling this would feel so incredibly bad if we're not able to find the upgrade this round. There we
Okay, he
go,
got it.
finally. Just
He didn't have to sell anything. I was kind of
Well,
hoping he
speaking
did.
of upgrades, gentlemen, there's a lot of them right now. Lee Sao and
Zero
Zaya are both
LeBlancs.
holding a Lysandra, making it impossible for Revan to get that Lysandra 3 right now, but he has found a Lux 2 and a Garen 2, and Daysik has also
He has fish
rolled
bones.
0 and found a Darius 3, so that comp
pretty
should
good.
be online, should be stable, but he has 0 LeBlancs is what we're hearing.
Wow, this is such an interesting pivot. Actually, intentionally not going for the LeBlancs because there weren't enough copies there. So if you wanted to unlock,
Intentionally not going for a LeBlanc because you didn't hit any copies. Yep.
Definitely an intentional play.
Yeah, no, I think like after a
it
certain
looks like
point,
possibly
your
we'll see what our
items
items look like, and so we're
and
just
just
gonna play
the
all we
in the
got.
current
We have
situation,
Rock now online. Are we going to go for a bigger cash
he
out,
hits.
though?
I think he had 0 like
Cash
the
out,
entirety
he
of
knows
stage
his
2 and 3.
position,
So
12 points currently. If you get to 20,
At that
that
point,
is the key. We will cash out.
you probably just don't
instead.
care anymore.
Go for the win this way. Not going to risk it all.
I mean, Lisa just needs to not go first, right?
Found, you were talking about this Disruptor emblem being there as well that will help him to get this comp online. Will be slammed on
Disruptor
Brock instantaneously,
Brock
and that
actually
would be
kinda
really
good.
nice to find some further upgrades on these units. Has a lot of 1-star still, but will run into Revan. Both of these players are low, and even though the Revan has found
Look at
upgrades on the
Senums.
Mafias,
Little
he's
sauce.
still lacking that Galio 2 in the backline.
This is a read from Lisa that the lobby is weak enough, and he got his Mel early enough that he can use Mel as the Radiant item for the Brock. Not going for a 625 cash out that would have guaranteed that one, knowing that he was too low on HP and needed to stay alive now.
That's Skarner pulling the backline carry of the Lux.
I think his
straight
clutch
into
just
that
sucked,
middle
and he
ult.
realized that
It's
he's gonna
exactly what you'd
go
like
wait
to see
if he.
from your team going into a fight.
Well, Revan does not like to see this one. Is on 3
He's
HP
gonna
and
send
a
it, he's gonna
Dream
send
right now. Two of the Lysandras are already out of the pool. Saya has one, Lee Sao
Yeah,
has one.
it's
There
it's
might be another one in a shop.
Oh,
He is
it's
with
dimmed.
his back against the wall.
Contemplating
He hit
what
too
to
many
do
too
here.
early.
He's looking around, I'm sure. You see that the dummy's on the board, so that means he is scouting. He is making sure.
Lee
Dark
Sao
Knight is still
has
streaking.
two.
Yeah.
I don't even know if he has
He
Garen
knows
too.
He cannot do it, so he's going to have another game plan here.
One of those two is in the shop, so he does not know. He's actually rolling, trying to see if maybe there's a chance he can find something here. Swain 3 as an alternative, chance.
I mean, that's just Swain
There's
2,
9 rolls
so
left. No golden
Nah.
orbs for potential duplicators.
it's doomed.
Oh, that's tragic.
Yeah, it's really hard because there's so many people playing around AP. And so Swain on everyone's board that's playing around AP. This Lux is often a flex unit. You'll see that Darth Nub is also playing around that instead. And so it's just going to be impossible to find any of these 3-star forecast outs, especially when you're playing a line like this.
Yeah, I feel like this has to be the end of the road.
Plus,
But
his items are
the
good.
opposing board isn't as strong as it could
I
be.
love
here.
Void.
Sitting on the Annie 1.
Yeah, good news is that Lux does have backline access. If she can take out the Seraphine on the other end, there's a good chance that maybe something can happen here. Both Mel and Annie not upgraded yet. So Revan might just hang in there for another round. Question is, what can he really do with that? He's in a really
so close.
situation, but able to at least get one more round.
Yeah, the sigh of relief there. He gets another round to figure out a next game plan. It is 5-2, so many of these boards are getting incredibly strong. Bin playing around that Dumbify, but not finding any of the other huge upgrades. We do have a pair of A-Soul here for Mori, who is, you know, as we watched the show match earlier, is a champion and a god next set. So Mori's just getting ready to roll.
He is. He's on 300 charges for this A-Soul, but he would very much like to be on 2 stars, and those are the ones, like you mentioned,
He's stuck on 8.
For him still. Also Tarek 2, an upgrade that he would have really liked. He's been rolling to 0 and...
Oh, this is not a good matchup.
Unfortunately,
Unless the Diana does something.
If you think about it, as nobody else has
Okay, wait, the Diana's doing something. Pretty good. And he didn't even cast.
Sniping out Annie in the first try. A huge win coming in from Mori. He's shaking his head. I need those Mori meme packages right now, chat, please.
Because he's gonna take forever to kill, so Diana is like hard carrying.
The way he looked at that Darius from Dasik earlier, that was amazing. But I believe we kind of need to look at Revan and see if he can clutch out yet another round against this Darius. Does take out the Darius, is going to be able to find the win against the Ashe as well. Revan somehow, by a threat, by a silver lining, is hanging in here, has given up on the Lysandra. Looking for the Lux instead.
Yeah, doesn't Dartham have the other ones?
We're going to keep rolling. He did do a quick scout.
All right, he needs to start
Or
selling
maybe
parts
not.
of his board. I don't think... Who does he have in his pool? Darthnub, Saya? Oh, those are very tough boards to beat.
Darthnub is free falling. That's not very good.
No one is holding Lux. We're getting confirmation. But he doesn't have gold.
One on Carousel, one in the next shop. Agreed.
Well, he needs to pass Saya first. This is what you need
Okay,
to
Nate,
get
please
through
win
to make
against
it to that
Saya.
Carousel to maybe have the chance. Lux is on the right-hand side, or the left side, but the correct side. Moreover, that unit does not reach her
Saya's
immediate.
items and everything is
The
so
front line
good.
has already crumbled. There's no one there that can protect her. And Revan, unfortunately, is going to be taking an L here. Bin will too, though. Minus HP might matter, but I believe it will still be Revan on the very bottom.
Unfortunate game for Revan right there.
Dartham lost again.
Really not providing him what he wanted. He would have preferred the extra gold, but the extra rolls with nothing to buy just hit him so hard. Bin also just stuck on level 8, wanted to go fast 9, not enough tempo generated by Dumbify.
Our other 2 tempo players, Darthnub and Aaliyah, are both now within danger of dropping out with a bad loss. Darthnub played around stage 3 and 4 with that tempo, where Aaliyah played around that early game with Shadow Isles, and now both have lost a few rounds in a row and need to figure it out before it's too late.
For Aaliyah, the big upgrade has to be that Thresh 1, that he's sitting on 1 copy short of not being able to get that 2-star online, but somebody is looking at these 2 and preying on their downfall, because Zaya is still in. 2 players have fallen. All he needs is top 4 to make check.
Darth did hit that Garen 2 in the front line, which is an extremely good upgrade, especially with the Juggernaut emblem. But Aaliyah is also close to a Callista 3.
This is the Wigwug tech coming in from North America. If you can't find anything to put on your board, how about 2 Callistas instead of 1? And it actually did get a a lot of third places. Not really a first comp, but a very strong way to play the board.
Well, is it good enough is the question. On the other side is no one other than Dasik, and Aaliyah would so like to get a better placement here in the overall tournament, but can he get
Brock
to
is
the
dead.
Darius? It doesn't look too good. He does
Both of them have gun
take
blades.
out one of those Noxus units, but both the Draven and the Darius remain. And he is
Garen?
going to get knocked out here, left-hand side.
Oh my lord!
Garen!
Gunblades are going insane! The Garen would not fall down with the backline healing and also the Spirit Visage. That was insane!
I think that saves him.
Board. That is the
Placement.
Immortal King Garen for you right there.
Radiant.
Insane tech coming in from Darth.
Radiant coming in here.
Oh no,
for
one of the
our
best
Brock.
ones.
Come on now!
Very happy to see Radiant.
Oh, it is the trap they're going.
And that Brock is going to be one happy camper. Still has potential to upgrade that Brock to Brock 2, Mel to Mel 2,
I
Azir
guess.
to Azir 2, Swain to Swain 2. So the potential is there. Can Lys outlive to make it happen?
Wait,
This
I
is
feel like
huge
it
for
might
him
have been
because
Disruptor
his board is the strongest cap out of
Brock
any
over
right
the
here, but
second
he is going up
Serex.
against one of the best boards. We'll see if Brock can avoid and walk into the backline directly.
We're going to keep our eye on the Draven as it ramps up. The Darius has now reached CC immunity status, so the Skarner will not do too much, but as the rocks come down from Brock, the HP bar is standing strong for now, but as the front line falls down, the Darius is now can't take down the Bramble Vest Skarner, and so will be around win. The Asol is still 1-star. Darthnub takes a bot 4 for the first time.
That means Xayah will get check after this game.
Yeah.
Check in 3 games for the CN player. The Cinderella story to the world stage for him. Question is, will he be able to make it in 4? Of course, but there's more players trying to take
Mori
that check.
top 4s with
South still
Asol.
has a chance to get there too.
Oh, what a find coming in from Mori, getting that Luden's Echo onto the Aurelion Soul. Big burst dragon, hear me roar time. The big question here is there enough gold for him to potentially get that Aurelion Soul 2?
Level 9 in sight. We had 12 gold to roll. Not too much to work with.
You can sell the Ornn. Ornn isn't important.
Oh, there it is in shop.
It is enough. It's perfect enough.
So Ornn!
Wow.
I called it.
600
item.
on our Asol. This could be something that wins
Oh,
this game,
yeah,
especially
that
with
works.
an artifact.
But think about how chatty it is to play Asol thrice in the tournament, only get bottom 4, then play it in the final lobby, make top 4 on the back of it, and put yourself in one of the best positions to maybe get check after the next game. Mori unfortunately 1 point short here, but he is certainly the king of the hearts right now, playing around this Asol line.
This is the best time to do it. You're at 11 points. A win doesn't even get you into check, so why not experiment? Why not be flex? Why not give us more meme templates to use right here? But the Aurelion Soul, he has a giant Atacon in front of him. He still pulls through.
What a fantastic board. Li Xiao is going to be the other main character with the Brock. Is he?
Oh,
is he
Xayah
out?
Takes him down?
He is out, so he will not enter check. Xayah, only one that is going to be in contention to win the very next game.
Well, gentlemen, I believe that's going to be 7 players playing spoiler, but we'll have to see once we get there. For now, Dasik has something.
You know, this Xayah guy is just
that.
too
He
good.
might be far away from that check mark, but at least he got this game in his hands. Would like to claw his way up into the top 2. Can he make it through Asol, through Yone? We were talking about the potential of getting a Yone 3. Xayah is broke, honestly, and doesn't have any other copies.
Surprise TG still to be used here by Xayah. Where will he place it? Oh, maybe that's a visual bug, sorry.
It could be, but we know that the amount of CC that comes through in the backline access from this Yone will be incredibly important to now get on to the
my
Draven
God.
in the backline and take it down with that ability. Another top 2 coming through from Xayah here at the Tactician's Crown, taking down Dasik.
That was such a cool tech from Xayah, putting it on the 3rd row and then wrapping around directly all the way, assassinating the Draven 3. He also held on purposely for that TG to slam afterwards, so he could get that set faster back into the field.
Yeah, very, very cool to see it. Question is, can he do it against the god himself? Aurelion Soul, 738 stacks right now.
You can
We're
snipe
going
the
into
Asol.
what should be one last round. I'm not sure we're going to see this carousel. 14 and 15 points respectively.
Wait, is
as
this Yone
Xayah
tech?
tries to take yet another victory lap. Let's see what this Aurelion Soul can do.
The question is the wrap. Can he clear the left side and go directly towards the back line, or
No.
will he get stuck here
He's
on
stuck.
the front?
Wait, Asol wins out.
That is now doing sit-ups on the right side of her screen, and the Yone is now fighting against the world. One more cast coming through could provide a huge amount of CC and take down the key units. The set evaporates to the
Asol win out.
Run it back for another game in a row, and it ends the same way with Mori on top.
Sigh of
Dominant
relief from Mori there before the grin kicks in, before he realized he's actually done it. He's taken a first place here. What a beautiful board to finish this one.
And that's just so amazing of a game plan. He called what he wanted to play. He sold to the last gold to find the Aurelion Soul 2, and Ornn gave him in hand one of the best artifacts to have in that Luden's Echo. The stars aligned for the god to come down.
All right, I got a pitch.
All right.
If Mori wins the Tactician's crown,
All right.
called shot is just his augment. Right?
Oh.
It's gotta be, right? He's calling his shot. He knows that Aurelion Soul was the game plan, and it now won a game here, really reversing the stats, what we all thought from this composition heading into this game.
Well, I'm not sure that's going to be possible because first he needs to get there.
Hey.
And while Mori deserves a lot,
Mori
of
just has to
credit
grieve
for
Saya.
this board, we have to talk
Because, like,
about the
literally
finance
an 8th
room.
is still enough to
Saya
get him into
getting
checkmate.
check on the back of that
Or the check.
has to be our biggest story here. We were talking about the players that were able to do it before.
Mori
They
just
got
has to grieve
titles
Saya.
into mind. Juanmi, and now
And then who else
maybe
is
Saya.
close enough in
Xayah
points?
in 4 would be such an incredible comeback story for CN. They have awaited 9 sets right now for a return to the TAC Crown Championship. In fact, the community has been so demoralized, they often look forward to the regionals more than even towards the global championship. So I want to see them invigorated. I want to see the youngest player on this field make that incredible story, make that incredible opening chapter for himself.
And not only that, the journey that they took to get here is the exact one that we talk about for TFT all the time. We like to say, but for some
More comps. Need to find a better board for this. The thing is, like, it keeps getting close to the other boards. I need to approach this a little differently. Another Bastion that's like... See, Stargazer. Space Groove is selfish, right? Yeah, okay. So if we do Stargazer routes, that could be something else. And what's final Stargazer? Xayah. The sniper. I mean, it's probably Jhin, but like, now we have too many carries here. Is there an easy Dark Star to fit? Not really. I mean, you could just ignore that. And then just play like +2. Like this could be fine. And like Stargazer Bastion is pretty good. The rest of these aren't that good, but you have high quality units for the most part. Okay, these are all ADCs. So it's not like we don't. It's not like the AOE Exodia kind of thing. Would that even be possible to make in this set? Because who's the CC unit? Nunu. Okay, so that kind of works here. I don't know. Best something. Okay, so there was this Samira comp. I don't know if this is the best version of it, so I need to look. But she has the knock-up passive, so let's look at all the knock-ups in the game and see if there's anything that... No. Stun. Okay, so I know this knocks up. This also knocks up, right? Knocked up. None of these do, right? I don't... Is this a... This is not a knock-up, right? It kind of seems like it would be, though. This knocks up? Oh? Briefly knocking up targets. This might, but I don't actually know for sure. Stunning them. That's not a knock up. Does this pull count as a knock up? That's the question. Draco Ball. No. Briefly knock up. Okay, now how many of these can we use? What do we have? We have Brawler, Sniper Rogue. Sonic Voyager. It doesn't say knock up though. I'll wait till. Okay, but your Brawler. Wait, how much does. We don't know how much damage it does, but. Entering the groove. Meeple Rogue. There's no trait alignment. Stargazer Vanguard. We have Vanguard. Good, that's good. Things these two don't have any connecting traits. We have Stargazer Sniper. Rogue, like something like this. So then get you Stargazer. Oh, I mean, technically this is it, but I don't actually know if this is correct by any means. You can fit another tank here, like another this. But do you even want to place Talon on this board? Not really. Like, what is this board? Okay, so this has the Blitzcrank. Yeah, no, this board is probably just better. But that's where that optimization comes in. Okay. More rerolls around these units. Okay, this Poppy unit seems insane. I don't know what the numbers are, and they have to be low, but like the meat bonus and like this, they all seem good. So let's revisit vertical meeple, but like around 3 roll. We got a replicator. Wait, 7 meeple you can use to 3-star your lower cost stuff. What's my meeple comp look like? Or in game.
Side. Draven, you're looking at each other and you're thinking, come on now. This used to be my comp. What are you doing?
Oh, Revan seems quite in distress here. He's really far behind the ball compared to Lee Sao. I feel like he has to pivot off.
And what are we pivoting into is the question, because so far we've seen Revan try to work around so many of these other things, but never really ending up in a spot where he can really find that comfort unless he can get to that fast 9 tempo. But again, we're playing from behind.
I feel like if you're a Revan spot, you know, contesting this game doesn't make a lot of sense. If you're in a bad spot, why not try to contest Saya instead? Might be the just the goal for him. Extend the series and see how it goes from there.
Oh, we are level 5. We don't have an item onto this Draven, meaning that we're not unlocking Darius. Now we have a Scion, so we could be considering it once again. I'm probably waiting to see what the items are for him. It will be a 2 cloak drop here from this neutral round. Oh man, it's going to be a very curious adventure to see where he ends up.
I love curious adventures.
Me too.
Yeah. Our players do too. That's why they all pick Destiny.
True. This 3-2 augment, though, is going to be very important, especially if we can get more variants or people take more Destiny augments, or we get Prismatics would be a fantastic way to push this game into hyperdrive.
And hyperdrive might just be what players need.
Look at what Saya's doing. I was thinking about this. You should level to 6 here in case you hit forward thinking. So he knows his win out conditions right there. Straight level. He's such a killer, man.
Man, playing for those outs is really what separates this, or like buying your whole bench so you can get Dumbify or Golemify in a great spot to have an incredible amount of HP. Our lose streakers are continuing their journeys down the leaderboard and losing so much of their HP early on into the game.
Is he going to get rewarded? It is gold. The lobby is starting to sweat. Can he find forward thinking?
Explosive growth instead. We are going to push levels so incredibly fast.
Well, I like the idea, and I like the execution thus far, but I will say we've seen lobbies where players that have aggressively gone for XP in the end were unable to cap their boards around strength because they were missing combat augments. That is something Zaya needs to be cognizant about and needs to think about as we go into that very last augment. Of course, if you have a lot of items, you can kind of counteract that, but only so much to go around.
True. I think the job for the rest of the lobby is match tempo. You know, currently he's one of the few players on level 6. Mori got the memo here. He's also leveling on 3-2. And you have to be able to take down his board. If he's stuck on level 8, that means he can't go for the unlock of Rise. That would be the ultimate win condition for Saya.
Darth is also playing around Earth's Gambit, and I'm pretty sure he does want to try and win to get Demacia +1 and get that spatula online, but
I think he likes the Juggernaut.
Forger already online and taking a loss here. Not looking like it's exactly what Darth wants, but maybe he's just going for Juggernaut Garen once again.
He's just going for Juggernaut Garen.
Thinking about that one.
Running it back. Across our lobby, we have our other gold augments. Care package for Aaliyah being a very good one for scaling. We do have the pan come through, and I'm imagining we might slam this right now. Oh! Bane 2 instantly means that we are incredibly stable right now. Juggernaut emblem coming through. This is, we are running it all the way back.
I do have questions if this is a comp that can take a first place here, though. That's
He doesn't
kind
need
of
a
the
first
important
place though.
thing for Darth Nub.
Oh
Maybe
well,
his game
okay.
plan is that someone else will help stop Saya.
Yeah, no, I
I'm
mean,
just gonna
yeah.
try and
I think
tempo
other
Lobby
people
away
are.
from him.
He's trusting that other people are gonna go for it because I mean, other people have
Revan
better.
has Draven 2. We did see on
reason
the other
to
side,
go
but
for
Lee
first.
Xiao, we're continuing that streak. It will be 8 in a row.
Actually,
No
I think
one
Darth Nub is
really
like the
even close
least.
to as strong as Lee Xiao currently on the stage. We took another combat augment.
Like it's the least
giving us
important
a
for
bit
him
more
to go to
tankiness and
for
also
first.
some CC to start off our fights.
Because you have 4 people
it'll
that
be
can't
a
get
great
into
setup
check,
for them to hopefully continue this throughout
and then
stage 3.
everyone else is more points than him,
I feel like
so
Maury's board is make believe Darius LeBlanc.
they need less
does have the
points.
Exact perfect BIS items
Wait
for
a
the
second.
Darius. But the
So-
units are missing.
You just want to stop the
Ooh,
tournament
she's a
from
unit
ending.
now. Gotta respect her. Oh, maybe not.
It was
Maybe not.
scarily close, I'm not gonna lie to you. I definitely would be called out for my fight judging on that one. Anyway, looking at our current carousel, nothing crazy of interest other than the Seraphine, specifically for Leah, who is playing around that reroll, specifically the Targon Malzahar reroll.
Why- I mean, I'm just thinking about Aurelion Soul now. That's Mori did this to me.
That's all you want now?
Yeah.
Just more
Just
Aurelion
it.
Soul? Hey.
It looked amazing. It took a first place. After all, why shouldn't we?
Looks like Saya just took a 4 cost, extra gold. And this is when everyone is going to get some more items here. It looks like Saya's trying to just get as many TGs on the board, spike as hard as possible.
Wow, we are rolling with so low gold here for Leah. He knows he has to stabilize right now to use this lunch money properly.
This
That
is just
Leo
not Aaliyah's
too.
day.
Yeah, he really needed that frontline upgrade, and it's not even close. Very unfortunate situation for him.
Can we break apart the items? We didn't get the Leeching Nucleus off of our Kog'Maw onto this Malzahar 2, but it is fairly stable for now. But the problem is we're not making interest. I'm sure we will sell some of our units on bench. Yeah,
There we are.
we'll make 10 gold. Hopefully we don't really need this Bard anymore because our hope is that we can win. Not going to start right now, though.
I believe it was Blades Ionia. I'm not 100% sure.
It is.
Oh, okay, thank you. And it does look like Mori will be going to that direction. So we have a couple of rerollers, but nobody really contesting on the Fast 9 game plan. So it looks like the 1v7 scenario is just for everyone to out-tempo Saya. But so far, he's still on 77 HP. This plan is... We'll see on stage 4, but it's not working so far.
Right? I agree, and I think a big part in that is actually fellow countrymate Lisao, who has just been putting pressure on the Tempo 9 win streak so far, is going to run into Dasig right now, and certainly has a really strong board to contend here. As we mentioned, all that tempo is only going to work if you're then able to assemble a really strong board, but if your competitors come up with a really strong board, then you're going to stand in the rain a little bit, so I'm not sure I like this game plan from Zaya.
Lee Xiao hoping for the 10 streak here to keep that gold as high as possible. That Yorick 2, though, is being very, very pesky and will not get taken down.
Aw.
Healing up just at the brink of elimination there. So Lee Xiao losing that streak. Leah, though, continuing the loss streak. Just an econ loss, right, Clement?
I'm not so sure when he rolled down below 10, man. So it is just, look at Aaliyah's expression. I really think it says it all. He knows that he's in a terrible spot. But I feel like what Aaliyah should do is still take the 3 costs out of the pool. You know, if the other rerollers can match tempo and make sure Saya just doesn't get a free stage 4, you've done your job.
Yeah, that might be true. He will think about this per chance, but he also has, of course, a lot on his mind after a very unfortunate day 3 for him. Great day 1, mid-day 2, still able to make it into that final lobby. Great shot for Bin Bin.
Finding that Warwick 2 is often the hardest part in stabilizing this composition. You find a lot of the other upgrades, but I feel like I get stuck on Warwick pair every single time I play this, but that is not the case here. We are already level 8 for Saya, 30 gold to work with. We're going to be unlocking our Galio, and you know what's the key to victory so far this Tactician's Crown?
What
That
is
would
it?
be Galio and Rise on your board, and I think that's where we're aiming.
Don't have the Galio unlocked just yet, though. This is only 6 unique copies of a Demacia across the board. So slight low roll and might give other players a bit of an opening.
You know, I'm getting an eerie deja vu of the title final where we kept doubting his game plan, even though it looked like it was written on the wall already. We'll have to see what this next set of augments is going to bring, and whether or not it will be a salvation or maybe a wrench in the way for Zaya.
No growth mindset, no growth mindset. Please, no Priz. That's what everyone's hoping for.
Okay, we escaped the Prismatic. The good news, maybe the bad news for the rest of the lobby, is that Revan is on his comfort comp. He will be playing around that Draven and Darius
Gilded
this game,
Steel.
so he's hoping
Oh,
for a
low
contest
roll.
there. We do take
Whoa.
Gilded Steel and don't really get anything that's extremely valuable.
Yeah, misses the Shyvana. Just
Miles
pure
30.
econ coming on the way for Saya. And unless his roll down works really nicely, I think we might have avoided disaster.
Well, somebody else who has found some upgrades is Elia. We were talking about the fact that he should at least keep on trying to take those units out. He was able to get that Malzahar 3 on board, still missing that Leona 3, which of course is a core part of allowing the Malz to buy time. But we do have 2 duplicators, so we could just slam it and get her on board.
I feel like he must have 3-3'd into something he needed. That
Yeah.
was an insane jump of copies right there.
We believe he got Malzahar and Leona from 3-3s, so that's fantastic for him. I feel like this augment is so good in the spots where you need it the most. It gives you a lot of gold regardless of what happens, and also takes 3 costs out of the pool. There's really no negative in taking that in the spot where you're re-rolling 3 costs.
Well, the lunch money certainly is going to help us get back a lot of that economy that we lost. Zaya
Yeah, Leo
another
finds
loss.
one
I
more
believe this is
copy.
the most I've seen him in
He's
this tournament.
super chilling.
In terms of HP, he's one of the players that really likes to play around those early win streaks, a lot of HP preservation. We've been seeing that again and again. And somebody else will be ramping up here.
Oh, Binbin has
with
an early
that
orange.
Jinx comp, and that will be Binbin.
Look
Leo
at those
three?
Leo
Okay, he's just
muscles.
okay. I
Is
mean,
that
this is
duplicator
fine. Oh,
slam?
he sold the Zoes.
He's
I guess
chilling.
that's fine, but he has a cap around something else. I mean, he has
Across the
Seraphine
lobby,
too. That
Saya
also works.
Falling quickly, 5 losses in a row. Did roll a good bit to try and stabilize, and didn't find anything besides a Braum 2 in the front line. We do have
Yeah, I
Galio
think that's
now,
fine.
so that is huge to have that additional unit coming in from the bench. But the carry is just not really there for Saya. This will just be Lissandra 1, and it will not be around that Lux that we usually see with these boards.
And we're seeing Saya actually not roll more. He's trying to see
Maintain
how
econ
much
so that the
he can
moment
get
he
away
hits,
with, maybe find something on
he
the
can level.
carousel. He knows that his only out is just to win this entire thing.
No,
Doesn't
yeah,
want
if
any more
he
players to
over
check.
rolls,
Mori will
he's not
certainly
going to be rich enough
checked
to cap
in
out,
this
and he
game
needs to
as
win.
well, so he's trying to play the highest risk, highest cap version of his
Yeah.
board.
Edge of Night almost clutching out that fight. Lissandra not quite getting that cast off onto the backliner from Darth Nub, and so it will be another loss.
No, I
in a
think
row.
Sai Tempo's too low. I don't think they're going to win.
Brazilian on this carousel. Zoe for Elia.
Oh, the Zillion could be really good if Sai gets it.
Goes for the Terrican stat. Fair enough.
Saya heading straight for the Zillion, and he does find it.
That's a better carry, better way to get to level 9, better way to possibly even get to level 10, which would be a great scenario for them. But I do think that this rise in getting to 9 as soon as possible is the current plan.
Because you
The
just
problem
you
is
just
we
replace
just have to
Lissandra.
get there. Now we've lost 6 times in a row. We need to win a couple fights.
And a lot of the other players are already on upgrades. We saw Mori there on the Annie. We saw Lisao already has found the Mel. So those carries are starting to come online for the other players, which means damage is going to be
That's- I
spiking
mean,
in
it's
the
just
lobby. If you're unable to put a board
fascinating.
together, I'm not sure the Cillian is good enough.
One of the unique things about this set is you can't really grief and unlock. right? If you unlock a unit, it will show up in your shop guaranteed. So you get a Rise, it's gonna work. There's not much more counterplay to it other than that you have to kill them before they get there.
Braum 2 taking the TG up here. I think
Yeah,
this
yeah,
is
you
not
had to
really a
slam TG.
winnable position against Aaliyah.
He has those
3
scissors
stars
anyway.
across the board here. But Saya, he's still holding on to that max greed. 37 HP should give him 3 lives exactly.
Elliot
Any win here
should
extends
win
his
here,
chance to
though.
go level 9.
The Zillion Bomb onto Leona early means it will fall down as it
That's
ticks
good.
away. And a longer fight means more XP stored up through the Chrono Keeper as well. Saya, the plan is there. We will survive on to stage 5. And so if we can save enough gold, we could get to level 9. The problem is spending that gold on 9 and then upgrading a board that can win out the game.
Checking in with Revan, we were talking about him being on his comfort comp, but the way he's playing this one is a little bit different.
He had to move away from Lee Sao's board, I believe, and Lee Sao actually faked him out. Didn't even go for the Draven reroll himself.
It is hard when you're sharing that pool of units, regardless of if you're re-rolling. Just makes it difficult on him,
this
but
is
now
that
he's
spot's
level
rough.
8, trying to go 9, playing around Fast 9 AD, which has been the worst performing comp, especially when it
Wait,
comes
4
to Fast
Juggernauts.
9 so far this tournament.
Well, somebody
Pretty
that
good.
is not giving us a lot of surprises, Darknut, because he's playing once again.
He just needs a
long
5th
shot.
or
We have
higher, so
triple
like
items on both Kaisa and Vayne, still looking for that last copy of Kaisa to really get online, but we know that this comp can certainly contend.
that's what he has to play
Certainly
to.
deliver losses to other players, as we are seeing on the side of Daysik here. Zaya taking yet another loss. He is going to be on his last life as we go into stage 5.
16 HP means that he probably has another loss that he can absorb, but it would be very difficult to see him coming back. He actually goes straight to level 9, and that was the play he was waiting for all along. Now has to set up his board for the Rise.
It's here. We will be getting it next turn. We'll have 19 gold to roll. 7 of that will at least be going to Rise. These neutral and the drops that come on this round can shape this game and help
Yeah, this
make
from this side of
Tactician's
tournaments.
crown history.
He just needs as much gold as possible. The items don't matter anymore for him. His front line is just held together by TGs and hopes and dreams. Here comes the roll down. Volley Bear coming.
Guarantee.
Right off the bat.
Volley.
2 almost in position.
We're not going to sell that to unlock
Lot to
Silas.
do.
Instead, we're going to stick with the solid front line.
Rolls down, tries to see what else he can find on upgrades. Additional copies of that Rise, of that Galio Volibear would have been huge.
He's really strong.
Not find those, but the Garen 2 is going to be a massive upgrade to the front line and Rise. Certainly a stronger carry than that. Zillion TG going to be slammed on the Galio to try and give him something to work with here. Goes up against
What is he
Revan.
at?
The Revan's board is not that upgraded, so probably a good one to run into right now if you're rooting for Zaya.
My heart is absolutely pounding. This could be one of the quickest championship wins coming from our youngest player in the field. Saya has his board assembled. He just needs the blessing of Mordog. He just needs those volley bears to show up first in his shop, and the path is clear.
We've seen this composition win tournaments before this set. And now hoping to take the Tactician's crown. Weijin Iverson took TPC 1 over in the Americas. So many of our players are now going to 9 and spiking. Li Xiao rolling a good bit of gold here, trying to upgrade this board. Now has a pair of Mel's.
It's
Lots
about
of
who.
money being rolled.
Mel 2.
Raven on 9 as
Ooh,
well, trying to upgrade that
huge.
board, trying to reach a similar comp that we're seeing.
His
from
front line's pretty
Xiao
fake,
here,
though.
but Mel
It doesn't
2
even beat
certainly
the
is a contender. If
Rise
Zaya
board.
ends up running into Lizao here, I'm not sure who takes it. Going to be Revan instead.
With the meld too, Lee Sao definitely makes his board strong enough to take down what Saya has to offer. 16 HP now, it means that if you can win 6 units against Saya, you can take him out in 1 blow, but we haven't seen a board strong enough to do so. Maybe only Lee Sao is the one that could play the role of the extender.
Revan on the other side did roll a lot of gold. He still has 30 gold left on level 9, so a good amount to work with. The backline will fall down to this second Xerath cast. We do see, is that Saya
They
down
lost.
2 HP?
Who did they lose to?
Oh, but he gets
volley
the
two
volley.
with Sandra too.
Ollie.
Wow.
Wait, he
Now,
has both. Wait, he
finalized,
still has-
no more
he
extra
still has both.
HP to give. He lost to Bin out of all players. And do look on the right-hand side here. Our lobby is so incredibly close. So many spikes have already hit the boards of the competitors.
One more loss.
I'm not sure Zaya's board is strong enough to contend here. We'll need to keep our eyes open and see who's on the other side. Could be Dace, it could be Mori, but could also be Darthnub on the other side. All of these boards are not the strongest. But
Darthnub
let's
is
see if
not
Bane
winning.
and Kaisa have
Oh.
anything to give to keep this tournament running one round more.
Darthnub has
Maybe.
done the impossible so many times.
Maybe this-
before
maybe
with
this Garen's
top,
tank-
even
he's
with
Garen one,
just
though. He's Garen
Garen
one.
Being able to hold up the fort. That stun going across the
He's
front
Garen
line
one.
seems like it might be enough. And there's so much time spent by this Volibear not focusing on the targets. But no, is the Garen enough? Is
It's
the
Garen-
Garen secret tech
no, it's
good
Garen
enough
one.
to stop Saya?
There's just no
Garen
front
2,
line
he might
on the
have been
side
able
of
to.
Darthnub here that could be anything in
Yeah,
Zaya's
he doesn't
path.
have
The first
Garen
player
2.
eliminated. Revan knocked out in 8. That opens the path for Lee Sao. They were sharing a lot of those units. It is on his shoulders now.
Massive potential gold injection for Saya. He should be sprinting for a 5 cost here.
Mori also one of these players that has a very high cap, playing around that Annie, which is another recipe to win games. Bin does have that Jinx 3 as well, where Lee has hit his whole board also. And so there are a lot of players in this lobby that are very, very high cap, but Saya has the opportunity to go above them if they're able to upgrade the rest
Okay,
of these units.
Darthnub has
Lee
enough
Sao
health.
probably
I
is the one with the
think he
most
has a
chance to
5th
take him down here,
secured,
so we'll see
maybe.
what items he gets.
No, he's a 6th secured, I think.
Saya
Someone
does
is going
this
to
with
die next
Mori on
round.
the left. We're looking for any frontline upgrades specifically for Mori. We are very, very weak in that department.
Ooh, being stuck on the Annie one. Doesn't look like Mori will be the one to do it. He will go into check regardless for him, but he
Yeah,
would have really preferred
this board
to
is-
take down Saya in the process.
Not very strong.
Lee Sao, for me, still the most likely one to stop this.
And it is
Mori-
going to be
oh,
Mori
no.
on the other side.
Mori's
We're
not winning
talking
this.
About the lack of frontline, a familiar picture from Darthnub's board right before. This board will make an easy process of this frontline. Annie, one in the background, already down to half HP, will try to heal back up, but the Volibear's right onto her. Mori's backline does not have anything to give here to try and stop Zaya in his path.
Volibear's so good with this TG as well. Dasic also falls out, and so only 2 more players eliminated. Amiya continues their downward trend
Okay,
here
Darthnub's
in
in
the
check.
standings. And CN
Sai
is
just needs to
rising,
lose.
rising, and rising, trying to end their drought.
One more upgrade on the board. So far, I believe Saya's actually been pretty lucky. He's dodged the Jinx 3, the Malzahar 3. Can he do it again?
He had the Jinx 3. That was his one loss that he had, but he has been dodging.
I think he
Aaliyah.
beats the
It looks
Malzahar
like
now.
He's on a 9-win streak. If Zaya is running into Aaliyah right now before he can find the upgrade onto the
I think
Rise, this could
Darth
mean
with
everything,
Garen
but it is going
to
be Lee Sao
lane
on the
3
other side.
maybe
He has
can
upgraded his
win
board quite a bit as well.
until he
This
hits
is gonna be the
until Sai hits
toughest
Rise
test
2.
coming in for Saya. He is lacking a lot of damage from his
Oh.
backline. Can this Mel absolutely just
The
delete the Volibear?
Xerath ult does not take out the Rise, and the backline has to be the biggest story maker here. The
Second-
front line
Mo-
has
Right.
been crumbling
Xerath
for
cast, Xerath cast,
Zaya.
Xerath cast.
And
Execute goes through.
both the Xerath and the Mel up.
Oh.
They're just immediately wiped from the board, and Zaya takes out Lee Sao.
The burst was not enough. Relying on those TG rounds means that Saya survives and then Rise. Even though he's not 2-star, he does have the execute from the Demacia to take down the remaining carries.
The main character that stands in his way is the 10-win streak from Aaliyah on that Targon Malzahar reroll. The good news for Saya's board is there is high wrap potential from this Volibear to get to the back line.
They need to not get wrapped.
Already hits that vein as well. No Garen 2 is going to be the huge part of this board that he needs to upgrade in order to find success.
I don't see how Darthnub stands in his way. They let him go
Garen,
past the
okay.
PvE round, dodging Aaliyah again and again. This could be his championship to lose. If he finds that Rise too, it will be over for the rest of the lobby.
but he
probably like
still
adaptive, right?
hasn't found it. Is not even close. It's on a single copy, getting closer to
Yeah.
the Galio at least, but he would really need that rise to manifest his board as the strongest in the lobby. Let's see if matchmaking is in his favor once more as he ports on over and runs into Darthnup, probably D player in the lobby that he can still beat. Bin on
No,
the
I don't
tip,
think.
Leah on
Or
the
oh wait,
target.
that
Can he
ice
take
took so
down
much
Victory?
damage.
TG on the Bully Bear is extremely
That Garen
good
died
here,
so
and that is
fast.
going to be a huge buff to Saya's board onto the back line. The Kaisa does dash away quite well, but Darthnup's board does
Wait,
not
Saya
stand
just
up.
wins.
Another top 4 puts him in check next game.
More importantly, Elia has taken down Bin.
Elia has
so
to save the lobby.
Between Emias, Elia, and Cien Saya on who will end this tournament.
Holding the
for now.
rise.
He has a rise that he's holding.
Thank
There's four
God.
rise that he's holding. Elia playing heads up, playing spoiler. He knows what he
Okay, but
came here
he
to
can't
do.
get wrapped. He needs to not get wrapped.
Aaliyah versus the unstoppable demon Saya. He's been playing dodgeball
He needs to not get
so
wrapped.
well, avoiding defeat again and again. But this is the hurdle he has to pass himself. The TGs do not look as good this time. Braum actually taking offensive items. Is the executes enough to pull through?
Favorable TG roll on that Bully Bear on the right-hand side, but the Maltahar and the Zoe, they're far away from the Bear. Can they
Yeah, they're
take
pretty
down this
safe.
front line before he reaches them?
Huge stun.
Rise,
The front line
throwing
goes
in
down.
Distraction, but there's nothing there to
The
protect
most
them
dominant
anymore.
run in Tactician
Saya,
history.
with this run,
Hold on.
takes Aaliyah down a peg.
We still have another life left.
That wasn't
No,
even
Saya
close, though.
wins.
It was not. The TGs are a huge, huge thing here, and we do have a better
He
one
can
on
sell.
Braum and Galio 2 in shop.
Selling this would be 8 gold. Galio 2, does he have a remover for the TG? That's another huge spike. Doesn't look like it.
The battle of the droughts. Amiya has not won since set 3, and now all the hopes are in Aaliyah, where CN hasn't won since set 7, and Saya is looking to set history here in game 4.
Playing in front of his fellow countrymen there.
He doesn't
in
know.
Guangzhou.
Aaliyah doesn't
Everybody's
care high
looking to
enough.
Zaya to bring honor and glory back to their region, bring the crown back home, is what they have been saying. Can he
Galio's
do
down.
it as the front line on Elia's board drops lower and lower, has taken down
Bear.
the Leona already. Rise in the back line, tries to
Wait.
keep going, but the Malta
Wait.
and the
It's enough.
Zoe are still alive.
Wait, yes,
And Elia
yes,
keeps this tournament
yes.
going.
We will keep
Oh.
playing. Game
Oh.
5 to come. Aaliyah saves the whole tournament in the hopes of everyone in this tournament and ending in just 4 games. What an incredible, incredible game
Oh.
from Saya. So incredibly close.
And that really came down to a lot of the TGs. This time, no tank items on the Volley Bear. The Galio drop point was actually a little bit off, went straight into the left side, died immediately. TG rolls, hopes and dreams, and a great defense by Aaliyah to keep this tournament going.
The heads-up play to
Yeah, the
realize
Sai
he's
guy is
looking
too
for this
good. It's
rise,
just- it's so
unlocking the
scary.
rise himself, even though this comp doesn't necessarily play into unlocking that, he does it. Takes 4 copies out of the pool before Zaya even stands a chance to get there. The only way to stop this man, and he has yet taken another top 2.
And that's what makes these players the best in the world. Aaliyah knew exactly what the win condition was, and he denied it. Rise 2 would have won that fight, and it did win the fight before, just on Rise 1. If he would have hit that, it would have been all over. And instead, we're playing more TFT, and more players now have the chance to take the Tactician's crown for themselves.
So many more players in check. It's no longer a 1v7 game. Everyone is looking after their own game.
Dark Knight
plan
needs to play for
coming into the
first,
next round.
which means
Honestly,
no more
I
of
don't
that
know if you
Damasha.
can feel it at home, but hearts pounding through the
Unless you play the
chest
Masha
here as
Rise.
we were so close to maybe crown yet another winner, and the field has swung wide open now with more players in there. Mori at least is going to be on the cusp there to try and get this win in. It is going to continue to be amazing. We've been seeing
So,
just
4 players are in check?
top-notch S+ tier TFT here at the Lorne Legends Tactician's Crown, and we will keep it going. We'll be right back after this short break. Stay tuned.
Yeah, foreign check. So meep bonus. Okay, so Rammus wants to be like solo frontline. Depending on how much damage he does, maybe you go BT. Yeah, this Poppy here. What's the... Maybe just play 7. You're for sure playing like these. Which is pretty good. I think these are the least likely to be played. My thing has the... Okay, what do I have? I have Fizz. I mean, maybe this just plays like Rebel. In which case you drop this. Like set 13 Rebel. You just play this. Because the Meeple bonus is good. What's your bonus? Every launch an explosive Meep. Wait, the problem is that all the Fate Weavers suck. All the other ones. You have Nova Stargazer, Timebreaker. Select the Riven would be good here, but you're playing like... Okay, I think Meeple Spat is actually quite good. What's the Meeple bonus for the randoms? I guess that'll probably be revealed later. Like for the emblem. Yes, okay, what does this do? The more of these randoms we can drop, the better. It's a better Fate Weaver. Play Nova. Problem that none of the traits connect. I can't play this. TF, Stargazer, you need the 3 units, which also is not very good. Yeah. But the other route is doing that. Back? Not yet. other notes. We're in.
Does do so.
And one augment to look out for if we do have prismatic augment starts, an augment that really benefits from extra gold is level up. You can play also a high tempo econ game with level up compared to other prismatic econ augments where you're not really trying to open for it. Instead, you're trying to push for very efficient levels while also making a lot of econ, having a chance to make it to 9. And gold translates to so much more value on Scuttle Puddle with level up in particular.
Any of those augments that are going to enable you to actually get to those
I mean,
higher
okay, you
caps,
have to play Fast
I
9,
think
right?
we're definitely looking out for the XP and the gold
Unless it's like a
generating
Giga
augments.
Exodia
But
Darius
there are
spot
also
or
other
like.
ways that you can play to reach those higher heights. That's going to be maybe around
Everyone's just playing for Rise.
items, maybe around having
Or
an
like maybe
artifact from
maybe
something
Asol.
like,
Maybe Mori wins with the
Malal's
Asol again.
Rubik's Rumble win. They're forged in strength. But let's see if we do actually get something like a prismatic to start.
Just gold, nothing too crazy, but there are still significant amount of these that can shape it, like Mori picking up savings account.
Yeah, you can get the thresholds for the extra interest much earlier, so you have a way
Yeah,
easier
that's
time
a
getting
pretty
the
good
proc
pick.
off, even before 3-7 ideally. Spreading roots is also one of the big pickups that some players might be going for with the gold augment start. Will be late game scaling for Saya, so he does find a way
Late
to
game
pair
scaling.
a gold
Darth
econ
Nub's gonna go
augment
for win streak.
with that potential level 9 power, with making it to 9 with more consistency,
Warpath.
having the Scuttle Puddle resources. So already a
Uh,
scary game plan is being formulated
these
here by
items.
Saya with that pickup.
Bin with a Rek'Sai too?
We were being told by our producer that
Warpath.
he's pinging that he's going to be going Ionia possibly. He does already have a lot of those units, but this Rek'Sai is the biggest terror on stage 2.
Yeah,
Been
but the
about
items are
16 points.
so
He doesn't have to take a
sus.
huge risk, but I think he knows
I mean,
what
he'll
is
probably
one way
win,
to
like-
stop this tournament from ending by winning this game myself, and Warpath is one of those very risky augments. If you manage to ride that tempo wave, if you stay ahead of the rest of the lobby, win all these fights in stage 2 and 3, you can get a cash out so
You know,
early
now
on and
everyone
just
has to play for
snowball your
one.
lead.
Rek'Sai is one of the best champions to be able to do that. This is going to be a pretty easy victory for Bin just to start to stack that up. We've got late game scaling for Saya, Darthnub taking Stars Are Born, maybe waiting for some really good champions to show up so that you can actually get those big upgrades.
I really like this choice from Saya. Taking the late game scaling is not only econ, getting a couple XP every round, but also combat in the late game, specifically playing around those 5 costs that obviously we have seen that Saya can pull off that strategy even in the highest of moments, and with the extra gold, having a little bit more of that guarantee to get there will be great. Darthnub is playing around Bilgewater, and this is one of those compositions we look at and we say, hey, we can flip games with this one, we can win games, but we also can very easily go 8.
It's a line he played a bit yesterday as well. It's one of those lines that he found to play for just a fast and a high cap playstyle, was what he was really famous for in days 1 and 2. And I think he won a game actually with Bilgewater, so he must be fairly comfortable on this line in terms of now that he's in check and he has to win a game. This is one of those ways to get there. As long as you have good enough tempo in stage 3 and 4, you can make it to Tahm Kench 2 in particular, and that Tahm Kench can scale you extra resources. That's where you become a very scary player coming to stage 5.
Going to be full open forts for Aaliyah and for Revan. Revan has some very interesting game plans over the course of today. He has evolved to be beyond just the Noxus reroll, but he has the Bard unlocked, so I can't wait to see where he takes this.
Bard, but also Yasuo 2 plus the Ionia package. So now he can go for that Ionia, and he has the lesser duplicators alongside that. So the setup for it is probably the best in the lobby if he's able to possibly bully everyone else off this line.
Doesn't really have the AP items just yet for the Ahri. Eventually wants to make use of these duplicators, of course. But we'll have at the very least some AD-centric items for the eventual Yone on 3-5. A little bit out of Revan's wheelhouse, but still a 3-cost reroll. I think he wanted to play this a bit yesterday as well, so should be pretty happy with the spot. And for Mori, for both the savings accounts player, the big thing to consider is that they're going to have very low tempo, but when they both get their gold procs, they're going to have massive spikes on 4-1, in this case maybe even earlier, considering the Scuttle Puddle gold in particular.
No Draven, so we will not see players get the unit that they're looking for. If we look at the bottom of our screen, we can see a picture of the whole entire lobby. Dasik obviously really getting as much gold as possible, but I'm very curious about Aaliyah specifically. Playing prep is not an augment we see very often.
Dartha playing
but
Graves?
It's very much reroll centric inside.
Oh?
But he's trying to find that uncontested line and claim it for himself.
Make says that he wants to go for Noxus.
Okay.
That is going to be interesting to see whether or not he can pull that off. Mori has unlocked the LeBlanc already, so maybe that's something that Mori is also angling towards. But Aaliyah is starting to prep the Draven and a Scion too.
Makes a lot of sense here. Going to sack all of stage 2, use it as a prep stage, and then come in stage 3 and take over. This is where a comp like Darius really comes up in a big way. It's really hard to beat a Darius.
I guess he has good components still.
To fight through that DPS check.
We hear a lot of pings. Also, I'm very curious what people are... It sounded like the on the way ping. Don't ask me how I know that. But it is one that is coming through quite often. Wow, Bin's board is insane. We have multiple 2-cost upgrades and a good trait web to go alongside it. And so he will be doing lots of damage and getting this Warpath scale as quick as possible.
It's coming together. I mean, that's a pretty big hit for Aaliyah to take, and I think that's something that is also going to be really important for our players to keep in mind. You might be lost streaking, so you can actually get the econ, but you also don't want to be taking too much damage. That could put you in a really difficult position later.
That was so close.
That was
Saya
very close fight.
Continuing that
I was
win streak.
win streaking with late game scaling.
Really smart from Bin to pick Warpath in Scuttle Puddle. I think he's going to have the extra gold to push levels much earlier and have that extra unit of damage to get the Warpath proc a little bit earlier. And he also assumes that some players will pick up things like savings account, kind of double dip on the econ to try and push levels level 8 to 9, and he's going to have a lot of free wins in stage 2 and 3 to try and get
No, Warpath is really good here.
Saya going for the streak. Bin did take a loss. I'm not sure.
Wow, level 6 from Saya on 2-6 to try and guarantee the 5 streak, as well as just have the dominance of this lobby coming into the start of stage 3. Faces Dasik, who isn't really playing for any kind of tempo play right now with savings accounts, so going to have an easy win here.
Ty is so lucky that he wasn't going to run into Bin.
It looks like Darth Nub did take a quick win as well, so they have stabilized around what they've played around with the Bilgewater specifically, and so 5 win streak and 2-5 loss across the lobby, both at 69 HP, and so more resources are on.
Wait, I want to see the Darth Nub Graves reroll.
All the prep stacks now
Because like
for Aaliyah,
technically
getting
it
the Draven
does
in.
cap well,
And then for Revan,
but you
I
need
mean,
so much tempo. You need.
What are you gonna do? I guess you could still go Ionia, but you kind of want to make sure that you have the items for it too. Hoping maybe another sword gets dropped from the crabs.
Would love a Nashers for the Ahri. With the other two hitters, I think he's going to be centering more on the Ahri 3 more than the Yone.
Like if anything, I would have
CN
preferred like the
players could
Bilgewater
skip the
Rise.
reroll angle and just
I feel like that
prefer
is
Ionia
better.
Tempo instead. But with the duplicator pickup, I assume aimed at a Darius, now he kind of has to play for the RE3 instead. And he's going to have a lot of gold to work with. I think he even push 7 on 3-1 if he
Basic
wants.
items
but most likely
are-
2 to have an early
They're
Yone
fine.
unlock.
Like Nasher
Opportunity for
Void
Dasik
and
will
then
start to stabilize his
half
board
a
even more.
JG.
Savings account does raise your interest threshold to 70, and so we're able to sit above 60 if he does desire. Also having this Embessa in bench does open up a lot of options into the late game.
I'm very curious what Saya is going to do with his game plan. He has a win streak. He's right now holding a lot of units to play towards Demacia, but both savings accounts players, they are most likely playing into Demacia. They're going to have a lot more gold to work with as well. Lisa was also holding kind of Demacia-esque units, so it would be quite hard for Saya to break through and play a four-way contested Demacia in terms of the Garen upgrade. In this exact position in game one, Saya pivoted into more of a Mel flex, and I think he's been quite happy to play uncontested, so I assume he will try and pivot out of Demacia altogether coming to stage 4.
Or just hit.
Or just hit.
hit.
That does seem to be the actual thing that Sai has been doing the whole tournament, because it does take a good game plan and, you know, a little bit of luck with your shots to make it happen. But the 3-2 augment here will be huge, especially being exploited onto our Scuttle Puddle.
A prismatic augment. Wow, that was
Goes for indecision.
pick.
Really interesting. The extra gold here. We're on a 6 win streak, so not going to be able to get any power from this prismatic. Most likely should lose the win streak because of that decision.
Yeah.
Big win condition.
He didn't have good
for
augments
Darth
for
Nub.
win streak,
He
though.
has gotten
Or, like,
win out. He'll
like
be
for
looking
power.
to go to level 9 and then straight to 10, and I imagine for that Baron Nashor.
He is playing the Bilgewater line now, so it would be a very hard pivot, but not impossible, considering that that is one of the strongest boards you can possibly assemble on 10.
But I also can't you just like play Bilgewater into a point where you just get a bunch of legendaries in?
The problem is, if you're just pushing to 10 itself, going to 10 and having 10 rolls does not guarantee you stability if you have just all one cost on all your legendaries, whereas the Baron, just the Baron himself as a 1-star does offer you a few rounds of a lot of stability on, you know, 4-3 or 4-5.
Do you also see Prismatic Ticket coming through for two of our players, Bin and Mori, both playing around that. Bin has been the one player that has been pinging and staking their claim on the Ari reroll this game, and so taking that augment will definitely give them the opportunity to play probably whatever they want, and with these items, it's probably going to be that Ari.
So there's a team-up approach here in terms of how these players will try and stop some of the players in check. Some of these rerollers like Aaliyah, like Revan, and like Mori, they will try and just play for very high tempo at the end of stage 3, start of stage 4, and tax anyone that's trying to greed and not roll at all on level 8 and try and go directly to 9. What we saw with Saya in the last game, for example.
But it's also so tempting because you have this nice little looking front line. Do you ever take those items and maybe you think about the Zoe instead? There are quite a few players that actually do have the Ionia units on their board. Maybe you don't want to actually play the Ari.
I think it's possible. We do have the Splittering Spines being a good secondary option other than Leech and Nucleus for Void, specifically on that reroll. For Revan, though, now he's stuck in a hard spot, and it really does depend on what these rerollers do. And I think he's aiming not for a reroll here in this stage of the game, and could be. I have no idea where he's going to end up.
He just pushed 7 early for the unlock on Yone for this next turn on 3-5, and then that I assume will be a big roll down, both for the Ari 2, both for the Yone 2, ideally, if he really high rolls. Wits End is actually a very good item on this Yone as well, because he is a very unique unit in terms of itemization, where he's kind of an auto-attacking care, but he has some AP scaling as well, so the Wits End will be quite valuable.
Saya and Dasik are going to be able to pick another augment in just a couple of turns, so we will have to keep our eyes on what they decide to go for. Dasik with the savings account, I mean, there are definitely some ways that he could take this. Similarly with Saya, maybe he just said, I really want to have some econ here, get some scaling in, so it can pair nicely with the late game scaling.
The Nashor for Revan here off of the belt pickup. He, I assume, will go for a big roll down. Dasik and Mori will probably roll down on 3-7, and we'll see which one of them can find the Demacia frontline before the other.
Yone on board. Ornn also found, which is a great way to scale into the late game. We have a pair of Yones now for Revan.
Where are the Aris?
We're missing the key unit. That's going to be a carry in the back line. Swain is a great addition as well.
Pretty nice pair.
I don't know how Revan
Wow,
always does it. He always hits Swain
Sorry.
2 before any other 3-cost upgrade. So many games we've seen him playing Darius, he hits the Swain 2 before the Darius 2. I am very confused at his unique type of luck.
Wow, what a big hit.
No Ari, though, not even a single copy, is pretty tragic.
Yeah, no, he
for
cannot
the
play
game
it.
He has to play. He has one copy here.
Yeah, we got one. I'm curious if our plan now is, hey, we didn't hit Aries, obviously. Do we just duplicate this thing and try to play for 9?
Yeah,
I
he had to
think
play for
so.
Arcanist.
Because I feel like at this point you don't really have a lot of gold to actually finish the roll for. So I would personally rather see Revan save it and try to get to
Just play
level
Arcanist.
8, level 9.
Had he found a Yone 2 on this roll down, I think that would be a guarantee, and you have a chance to fit in the Ornn. Sold off the Ornn there, so that indicates that I think maybe he will continue.
Oh
opting to
my
go here,
God.
but I think it's a tough decision. He's torn between this exact situation in his game where it's not as clear as we would have expected.
Oh,
Win out.
Win out being another option for Dasic. With the amount of gold in this
Coronation's
lobby,
pretty good.
I mean, it's basic.
Coronation's the safe choice here.
But Dasic needs
I mean,
safe.
what's
You know, that's kind of the thing. Oh, Sweet Treats, I guess, is also pretty good. But he has 12 points. He just needs to get stuff.
Saya gets tiniest Titan, gonna have more gold and more HP to work with, so no matter how many players tax him in stage 4, we already know he's going fast 9. Wow, late game scaling into Indecision, into Tiniest, a lot of extra gold and Scuttle Puddle as well, so I mean resources is certainly not gonna be the problem here for Saya.
There is definitely a reason they have top 2'd 10 games in a row at the Tactician's Crown, and it's because they know how to get to this late game and then play around it once they get there. And the thing that they've done with their augments this game is basically guarantee that they will get to those high cap boards. Mori has 100 gold, by the way.
That's the savings account, I think.
We'll see the roll downs now from both Dasic and Mori as they get into the Demacia. Dasic could consider just waiting here, staying on 70, getting that greedy 7 interest for one more round, and then really pushing it on 4-1. Mori seems to be doing the same. They're trying to really get the maximum value here. And Mori also has prismatic tickets, so potentially a 3-star 4 cost could be the way he tries to seal the deal in this game 5.
Yeah, but what is the uncontested line here for Mori? We're going to have to find out because so many people pivot their board
Shadowwild?
based on what they hit. Yeah, but we haven't had it unlocked yet, so this is... Oh, man.
Listen, it's going to be the random MF3 that no one is playing.
Oh, Skarner.
Skarner 3? We already have 2.
Totally.
Dasic hit Lissandra 2 already. The roll down commencing on both sides. The Braum 2 as well for Dasic will provide a solid front line.
And Mori's going to hold every single 4 cost he thinks will not be played. Really just trying to go for a 3-star 4 cost right out of the gate, ignoring any kind of traditional TFT game plan in the process.
He'll play anything, right?
Yep.
I mean, Yunara is also a pretty good one to consider. A lot of people have been allergic to her, even if they are playing Ionia.
I think Revan will find a spot for Yunara on his board if that means he can stop Mori from going for the 3-star.
I feel like, though, when we look at some of these gold totals, I mean, Li Cao is also a person hasn't got to 8 yet, but that must be something he's going to consider soon, especially with Invested.
Across the lobby, Darth Nub looking like maybe he has his streak snapped as well, but 2 other players now on fire. So we'll wait for our scoreboard to update to figure out who exactly those are. Towards the bottom of our tables is where things get really interesting with Li Xiao and Mori. And our final augment, possibly of the whole tournament, being gold. Gilded Steel being a very, very popular for so many.
Once again, 3 threes for Aaliyah. This time he does not high roll any of those Noxus units. It's the GP, the Ahri. Doesn't sell the Ahri, knowing that potentially Revan is trying to look for these copies. Will wait until the very end. He can make his odds of his rolling a little bit better as well by holding them.
Could sell Emilio, though.
Darth Nub also found Spirit Link. So playing around low HP, going to level 9, then level 10, I'm so curious where he's holding on his board. We do have a Rift Herald. We have lots of the Void units unlocked. He is playing that game plan that we saw
Baron.
win the Paris Open earlier, actually last year, late last year, and now hoping to win the Tactician's Crown.
There's a Rift Herald on the other side. Binman had held onto those units for a while with that early Rek'Sai and Cho'Gath.
He just needs to
already
save health.
have the Rift Herald too. Very good front line for Binbit to be able to use to actually try to transition through this middle part of the game. You can see how much tanking it's done for this Kaisa in the back.
Any fight that Darth Nub can win on his way to try and push for level 10 is absolutely massive. Very similarly for Saya, who's trying to push level 9, has picked up the Darkened Staff as his final item on the Lissandra for now. It's expected that both Darth Nub and Saya will
attack
lose
one
all
more.
their fights in stage 4, but any win is really good news for the game that they're trying to play.
I believe they also had Belveth in their shop, which was the Void unit they were missing. So once they get to that level 9 and level 10, you need to have all those Void units in order to unlock Baron. And I hope, personally that he has all of the voids needed because, you know, I think I've done that a couple times. Got a 10 and be like, oh, Baron's here. And I don't have that Rek'Sai that I needed, you know? It's fine. I'm sure somebody in chat relates.
Mori's rolling. He's just holding all the 4 costs possible. He's on 4 copies of Seraphine, 4 of the Skarner as well for now on the Mbessa. No, wait, sorry. There's 4 Luxes, so just 4 of everything essentially.
Well, I mean, at some point, your odds are going to increase, right? If you're holding 4 costs out of the pool, also holding them from other people. If there are people that actually want to try to go for the Lux Demacia game plan as a transition.
Check out Lee Sao after this carousel. He's sitting on 80 gold. He has picked up Econ. He is pushing 9 on 4-5 because he's currently sitting at what could be 1 life. Even in stage 4, has the benefit of picking up the first of these 5 costs, potentially the Annie or the Zillion. He's playing around an AP shell right now.
But that's where he would like to see the Luxes. He has 1 Lux, 1 Garen.
He's not
I think
gonna
this
play
Lux
Lux.
might be sold the moment he starts rolling down here. He's going to have a lot of gold to work with all the invested rolls, explosive growth as well, getting him closer to 9.
That's true.
Yeah, he's gonna pack
It's a do or
Annie.
die moment for Lee Sao. He is playing a textbook 1st or 8th playstyle. He either stabilizes here and rises to the top of the HP totals throughout the next few fights, or he might even go out, either in this fight or the next.
The roll down will commence. We have 19 free rerolls
Wow.
to work with. We'll hit a couple upgrades right
Annie,
now.
Garen.
Rolling down to see if we can get that Garen and possibly unlock Silas as soon as possible. Galio paired now as well.
And
Braum
Braum.
upgraded. So the front line looking good for now. We just need to find
Are
some
we
back
gonna
line.
rise?
And the test here is rolling just enough to win this next round, but also saving gold to be able to play around an eventual rise, which is the
Yeah.
cap of this Galio comp.
Pretty
Still a Lux 1.
Wow,
Still Lux
Darth
1.
hit 10.
It's here. Okay, we do have Leeching Nucleus on it as well, so it's going to be very hard to take it down. But the problem is we have no upgrades on this board, period. And so we are level 10. We have Spirit Link to work with, so if we take another loss, we'll just heal a bit more. But for Darth, we have 31 HP. That is 2 or 3
Jeez.
lives heading into stage 5.
He might win
And this Baron
this
on
game.
stage 4 is incredibly hard to beat.
And a very important fight there to face Saya. The moment he has spiked, he is no longer just this free win that anyone can pick up. So really, really good news for Darthnub there.
Binbid did hit that RA3, which is exactly why they were able to beat Lee Xiao's board, who now has Rise unlocked, 1 HP and a Dream, and a roll down to hopefully secure himself a strong enough board to put himself in contention to take the crown.
That's a pair. There's a Galio too. Oh my goodness.
Okay, sell the
You
frauds.
can find the Rise 2 here. He can potentially become the strongest player in the lobby right now. He is really walking the finest of lines possible. We have to remember, no matter how strong his board looks, he's picked up triple econ, so he has no extra combat power helping him win those late game fights.
Oh,
And he's
no.
facing the Baron, the worst
Oh,
matchup possible
he might be
potential.
dead.
We'll see if the Baron can actually win out here and knock out Lee Sao in the process.
We do have the Rift Herald 2 now, so a single upgrade coming through for
Probably
Darth,
the second most
and
important
it will
upgrade.
be the Baron now diving into the middle of the team, hoping to do an incredible amount of damage, shooting those spines out, but the backline is untouched, and the Baron
Oh,
falls down to the
no.
Rise, so it will be another life left for Lee Xiao.
If the Baron dies before the Rift Herald, you know the fight has not gone in your favor. Sometimes the burrowing for the
He's
Baron
still too
will be
live,
too
though.
aggressive in the middle stages of these fights.
Another PvE round to inject more resources into these players' games.
Oh, I think that might be Mori. We're hitting a lot of pings.
Is he getting closer to a 3-star 4 cost?
Could just be Saya's spot as well. He has now gone 9. We'll be unlocking Rise as well. So Rise will be one of the hotly contested AP units coming to this stage 5, especially from the CN players who have favored it all tournament long as the way to win these games.
I mean, it's a good game plan. So
It's
far
sad,
in
just
the
hoping
tournament,
Lee
it
Xiao
has
dies.
been the best way to win a game consistently, or at least top 2. The problem is top 2 is
So
not going to be
much
good
gold.
enough to take the crown for yourself.
Rise.
Rise unlocked 70 gold to work with in the roll down. If we can get lucky and hit that Rise 2, a possibility to win this game for Saya, who has come so close in the last game, and that is a Baron 2
okay.
for
Wow.
Darthnub.
That's
And
insane.
Mori
What
is also
spat
rolling. He's on
does he
6
use?
Mbessas. He's on 7 Misfortunes.
He's on 8
Wait, he's one
Yunara.
off. One off
Yunara.
Yunara.
Oh my god. Is anybody holding Yunaras? He's rolling so fast.
He found it. He found it.
Mori!
Yunara 3!
No one could stop him in time. The ballsy move to pick up a dramatic ticket at 3-2 to beeline for a very gimmicky strategy to try and win this game. And it might just work out.
Wow, he even had the duplicator.
He had a
He didn't
dupe.
need it.
The APM there to roll all the way down and just before the fight get the unit he needed while greeting the duplicator, knowing that he might need even more.
Dead?
But this fight looked way too close.
The center ult on
Yeah,
the
that's so
Yunara there.
close.
He is going for potentially another 3-star forecast. No, he just sold the Mbessa as well. So now he's going to try and assemble the strongest board possible. We have to maybe look at Yunara's power as a 3-star forecast without the Ionia shell is not the absolute highest. 3-star forecasts are not insta-wins in TFT in this set. So we are seeing some other very strong boards assembled here as well.
Yeah, you have
You
Quick
know,
Striker.
the Ionia is Path of the Transcendent, so these 3-stars get a little bit of a buff here.
It's a good point.
Oh, but wait, Transcendence is
I'm ready
actually
to
really
see
good for
the
this.
Nexus 3, if that happens. He could get another 3-star forecast if he's lucky.
I mean, Skarner, we now have 5 copies of that, so it is a possibility. Dasik on the other side also playing Rise, so anyone playing around this Rise game plan is a little bit sad this game because hitting Rise 2 is going to be so incredibly hard.
There's 3 Rise players. All of them still have that 1-star Rise. Both Dasik and Saya are hoping that Lee Sao gets taken down on this turn.
Oh,
but
wow.
Yunara is all by herself. She does have the BT,
Dartha
the
beat
Outcast Harmony Van
Bin.
healing, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Mori is
Mori's
taken
dead.
down.
Bin
But
also.
Yunara was not
Mori's
enough to
lost.
win that fight.
Oh my goodness. Mori goes out in 8th with a 3-star forecast. That is insane. And Bin Bin, another player that was really hoping to get himself into a checkpoint, is going to end
But I
out
think
in
Darthnub can win
7th.
this.
We could still have a winner in this
All the
game.
Rises are
Bin
griefing
Bin
each
did
other,
not
and
cash
Darthnub
out that Warpath, that risky augment. He was one
Just
win
needs the
away
volley too.
from getting the rewards and didn't quite get it. But now, Saya has the Volibear 2 that we know is so incredibly strong alongside this Rise. It is the other piece that many of these players are looking for.
This is the big mirror match. Rise pair on either bench. Galio pair on either bench as well. Can Dasik take down Lee Sao? Can he make it a little bit easier for him to hit the key upgrade he needs to take over this game?
Lisa on the other side, hoping for more upgrades, hoping for the best Rise bounces of all time. It's so hard to take it down because that D-Claw is standing so strong, but as the front line falls and the back line is now available, the Rise does not target the back line, and so Lee Xiao will fall out. It will be 2 of our players not being able to take the Tactician's crown this game.
It's just Saya and
but
Darthnub.
just Saya and Darthnub fighting for that top spot.
Dasik, though, on an 8-win streak, is hoping that he will be able to benefit from that Rise knockout as well. He would love to be able to get that 2-star Rise, but Elia, kind of like the big winner here with all of the 3-star upgrades that he wants. If there's any reroll composition that can keep up with the Rise, it's this one.
And we saw Dasik as well, a very similar board to Lee Sao, but Lee Sao had 3 econ augments. Dasik had the dummies coming in for the extra stuns. He had the sweet treats and the extra HP scaling as well. So overall, Dasik has played a much stronger game to make it to this Rise board.
Quietly, Revan now getting into the top 5. 3 losses in a row, just not quite strong enough, playing around that fast 9 Ionia board that we've seen have some success. Saya playing it to 2nd place last game.
I was looking at Saya's board and I was like, oh wait, we saw the dummies, but there's like the other Rise here. So everybody's just kind of hoping now that they can upgrade those key units. I thought maybe someone would play Mel. That would be kind of like the other AP
Yeah, but it doesn't cap as high.
champion that we would have seen, but nobody has her yet.
Rise has proven to just be the strongest comp in the game, and understandably so. I think players don't want to take chances to get into that 1v1 at the end and to still lose it despite having a Mel 2, for example. For Revan here, I'm a bit surprised to see the set 2 itemized here over the Yone. I think the Yone would be more consistent at dishing out damage in these fights, but it will be a very big loss for Revan here, unfortunately knocked out in the top 5 position.
And now it will be Amiya looking to be the saviors of the game once again.
I mean, it's
Dasik
fine
taking
because
the loss
Revan has to
to
play for
Aaliyah,
first anyway.
and Darth and Saya both having great positions to possibly win this game. Darth's board has been continually getting upgraded throughout the
He
Volibear 2 alongside a few
capped.
of these other upgrades. It is looking very scary for the rest of our competitors because
Just these
both of our
items.
players in check have boards that can win the game.
Darth doesn't need much else to also make this composition perfect. Maybe a Shyvana, I guess a Fiddlesticks if you want, but it's really just those legendary units.
Yeah,
who
no,
has
he-
the
like,
Baron
Darth
2
has
already.
everything.
For Saya, the key
And
thing
he
here
has-
is to get that Rise 2. No pair
He has
yet.
a good he has
He
Spirit
faces
Link.
off against the other Rise board that is
And if
left
Sai doesn't hit
in.
Rise 2, I think Darth
Volibear
wins.
so far away from Dasic's backline. And already the front line is starting to fall for Saya. We'll see if Dasic has already lost one fight. It looks like he might lose another one here as well. It's going to really even out in the HP totals. The Volibear doing so much here for Saya's board, hanging on, dishing out damage as well. And the Rise is still alive in the backline. It's going to be the final 1v1. The Wukong holds on for long enough. Dasic chipped down as well. I have to watch the players who don't have Rise unlocked right now. They should maybe try and do so on this PvE round and hold the extra copies
Yeah, Rise.
to deny
Darth needs
someone
to
like Saya,
unlock
who
Rise.
is in check from hitting that Rise 2.
I wonder if Darth was about to do that. He did buy a couple of champions and tried to flex around some pieces for the PvE.
Okay, we did put a bit more of a different change to our board. We'll be dropping out of
No,
more
he
of
didn't.
these void upgrades, but doesn't look like we
No,
want any kind
he
of.
should've.
We're going to unlock Skarner here using that Bramble Vest in the back line to help provide some resistance to the AD.
No, he should have unlocked the Rise.
Optimization. But it's still about rolling here for
Because that's a
Saya,
guaranteed Rise you
as well as
deny.
being able to upgrade something. Pair of Rise going to start
No.
to sell legendary units, and there is the Rise too.
Huge upgrade, and it will be Saya versus Aaliyah and Darth versus Dasic. Darth won TPC2 to get to his spot in the Tactician's Crown. He went into the EMEA Home Cup, one of the mixed competitions, one of the highest stacked competitions, came in and took it for himself, and now he's hoping to do the very same thing again and take a Tactician's Crown.
It's going to be Saya versus Aaliyah on the left. Darth Nub facing off against Dasic on the right. It's going to be the power of the 3-cost reroll versus this Rise board, and Darth is hoping that the Void board can take down the other Rise competitor.
Darius is already down. The Rise is onto Aaliyah's back, and I think that's not going to be enough. Aaliyah will be taken down here. That will be an elimination. Darth Nub also wins his fight. So it really is looking like Saya and Darth Nub are the two strongest players in this lobby right now. Both of them are in check.
Dasic is going to be that last bastion of hope to keep extending this Tactician's Crown. As Saya and Darth Nub, I don't know how they get any stronger from here.
And Dasic is missing the Rise, is the key piece that Saya found before him. The Silence unlock comes through, sure, but is that going to be impactful enough? Dasic is trying to get any amount of gold to try and find the Rise upgrade.
Yeah.
He's selling off his board, but he's not finding it. I think he knows there's nothing he can do. He's on 7 HP. It's his
It's
last
over.
life. It's a losing trend with a 3-loss streak right now.
Okay, and it looks like Saya and Darth will be
Why are we
facing each
looking at the
for
other?
real
Why are we
on
looking at
our
the? Yeah,
other
we need to
fights.
see this
And
match.
so we'll watch
This is the only
Baron
one that
to see
matters.
How it fares against the Rise.
Both of them
and
have 2
Volibear
lives, though.
On the other side, the Baron cannot be CC'd. The Volibear does jump. The cast goes through. But now the Volibear for Darth is onto the back line. The Baron casting is going to heal so much, and it's looking like Darth might be able to come out on top of this one.
Really smart positioning from Darth here. We noticed
No,
that Saya
he's-
has not
Saya
been
still has 2
changing
lives.
his Rise positioning at all throughout
you
all
want
of this
to?
day and yesterday as well. And Darth is placing the Rift Heralds to get most of the aggro coming in from the Rise and Lissandra, making sure that no matter what the Baron does, he does not get targeted early.
Dasic is out, meaning we will have a winner of the Tactician's Crown for Lore and Legends at the end of the showdown. Both Saya and Darth Nub have enough HP left that they should be able to have 2 lives. So can this carousel be a difference maker to extend this into stage 7?
Even a loss from Darth Nub would give him more Spirit Link value as well.
Playing for Spirit Link value. I like the play. I like the play.
So
But this
true.
will be a great preview of what is to come next fight as well. But we know from our last game that this fight does not decide the fate of the game. It can come down to just a little bit of positioning as the Baron's health bar stays strong. It's
I think
looking
Darth Nub
like
won.
is really setting himself up well
Oh.
to take a Tactician's Crown back to the Americas.
Darth can't almost not believe it that he has taken Saya down to just 2 HP. Is there anything on the carousel that's going to finish extend this game?
Senna, is there anything that Saya
Full
needs?
items on most of our carries. The Senna still has an item slot available. You could go for the IE. Darth Nub trying to just play defense on whatever Saya was trying to go for. He is winning these fights, so he
Yeah,
should try and
that's
deny
third done
Saya
item, I
anything, but
guess.
goes for the IE in the end. To itemize the last carry, the Senna, who could clean up these fights if both the Volibear and the Baron go down.
Oh, reading that.
In the thick of it, the Senna is there to potentially clean it up if the Lucian stun comes in at the right time.
CN has not won a Tactician's Crown since Set 7, November 20th of 2022, and Darth is looking to spoil that and bring the crown back home to the Americas as the sole representative in the final lobby.
Does Saya change the position? I think he kind of maybe has to. He's lost these 2 fights pretty convincingly. Does he swap up anything?
Oh.
Darthnub swaps the Rip Herald in the end. Has that been a mistake?
Okay,
No, the
no.
Rise swap comes through.
Wait,
from
this is
Saya
better.
as well. So
This is
Darthnub
better.
Very clutch last-minute positioning of the Rip Herald right in front of all of the enemy's DPS carries.
We'll watch the Volibear on the side of Saya, see if it can wrap to that back line, but the Baron's HP bar is holding strong with the amount of healing it does have. The Volibear is onto the back line and now wrapping around, but the volley on the side of Darthnub taking down the Rise in the back line, and Darthnub will be taking the Tactician's Crown back to the Americas. Congratulations, our Lore and Legends champion, Darthnub.
Wow, look at this. He has been waiting for a moment like this ever since his last appearance at the Tactician's Crown. He is going to end up as your champion of Lore and Legends. Wow, congratulations.
Playing right on the line.
Okay, but this Saya guy is such a beast.
In that 8th place position in stage
He's
4,
so good.
Clawing his way back up the standings.
He just got triple contested this game.
On this day 3 from
Yeah, he.
On the set so far, he is
Darthnub just chose an uncontested line.
First or 8th rate. It is incredible, doing it almost 50% of his games. So coming into a checkmate format, we knew that Darth could perform when he needed to, and that's exactly what happened. Able to get to level 10, get that Baron 2, cap out, and win the Lore and Legends Championship.
It feels almost perfect that we
Wait, so did I went like 1-2-1-2-2?
vertical void win at the TFT Paris Open, and we're going to
something like that.
End this incredible set
like what?
with another one. How phenomenal is it that we get to see this happen again?
Not just that, but the 3-2 augment pickup is literally called Win Out. He pivoted his entire game line. He was playing a Buildwater line. He said, okay, I'm playing Void now. He found the right pieces, made it to 10 on 4-5. He had a Baron online, taxing everyone else in this lobby, lowering their cap in the process. The great positioning on every single one of those fights. 3 wins in a row against Saya to win it all in the end. Just a very clean execution from Darthnub. When you feel so much
at the end of the day, he won off of positioning because Saya hit his board. I mean, I guess maybe to some extent Spirit Link.
Is unprecedented, but playing around Scuttle Puddle, knowing what it would take to win a game, and while trying to be uncontestable, well, get Baron 2, get a rest of your board upgraded, and there's nothing you can do to stop them.
It's just been really impressive to watch all of our competitors across the set give it their all. Whether it's been in the TFT Pro Circuit, where we see the best tacticians from every single one of our major competitive regions battle it out against each other, or it has been at the regional finals and in Tier 2, where we get to see these new stars born. We finish it out here at the Tactician's Crown, where the best of the best match up against each other, and only one can come out on top. And it has been so cool to be able to see Darthnub reclaim this glory.
Oh, and I called it too. I predicted it.
And last time at the Tactician's Crown, and
declared it would happen.
He went dead
in the Reddit post.
Didn't get a chance to make it back here until this set, and now look at this. He's completely rewritten his history.
Actually, first or 40th.
Yeah, first.
It's so incredibly. It just makes so much sense for who Darth is as a competitor, and he's someone that throughout the set that was his journey. He went first in TC2, but the rest of the time he really just had middling or bad performances in the TFT Pro Circuit. And so going in this event, we're saying, hey, he didn't have a great showing at regionals either, and so we don't have the highest expectations.
But you know, he got so close to the final lobby of the Paris Open.
Yep.
That could have been him. He might have been able to have one of those legendary sets if maybe that last game had gone just a little bit differently. It was checkmate format in the round of 64, where players had only one more chance to make it into the grand finals. You had to win in a checkmate format in order to get to the grand finals on Sunday. And so you must imagine Darth has had more experience not only being able to play that at the Open where you're still at the same level of global challenge, but also in the TFT Pro circuit where he was able to take a cup win.
And every time you falter, that's an opportunity to learn in a format like Checkmate. You get that experience going forward, and when it matters most, that experience has come through in the biggest way possible. Another tack round for the Americas. The streak continues. CN and EMEA no longer able to break that drought, and it's been a dominant back and forth really between Americas and APAC the last 9 sets.
Listen, 6 of those players in this final lobby were trying to end those streaks. They couldn't get it done. The freedom came through. Darth able to come out on top, bringing it home in the Americas. Obviously, I'm biased, but I'm so incredibly happy for him.
I will say, we have to commend Saya. Another second place, 4 second places in a row across these last 4 games, along with that first in the very first game of the day. So truly an incredible performance from Saya as well. The typical kind of CN breakout player who has now surprised us in a massive way and is one of those elite players to look forward to in set 17.
I do wonder what's going to happen when we see Saya next. He broke a points record at a Tactician's Crown. He had just an amazing streak of games showing us some of the most entertaining TFT I think we've ever seen at the global level, picking hero augments, going for a Kiana 3 for a ginormous Ishtal cash out, and just all of these other things that make you look at a player like Saya and be like, oh, I want to see him play again. When will be the next time? Well, it'll be at the pro circuit, but like still, come on, I need it now.
It was incredible. 36 points in just 5 games today, 11 top 2s in a row. It's incredible consistency. It is a little bit of a shame that they don't get the top prize, but that's Checkmate for you, and it is absolute cinema here for Darth. But Saya definitely needs to be rewarded and recognized for how they performed.
Making it to the grand finals, though, is an accomplishment that every single one of our competitors should be proud of today. As we take one final look at our standings, let's just celebrate these competitors.
Basic 6th again.
Lee Sao also got so close when he was able to put himself into check. Mori as well, carrying Japan on his shoulders to maybe bring another Tactician's Crown home to that region. And huge credit to EMEA having 3 competitors in this grand finals.
A little bit bittersweet, especially for Dasik. Last time he made it to tack round, he finished 6th. He makes it back, and he finishes in exactly the same position. So this is a player who I think we definitely have to watch out for. One of the most storied players to come out of our region. So consistent when he makes it these big moments. I'm looking forward to see what Dasik does in set 17 as well.
The amount of stories in this final lobby. Revan being the comeback hero. His goal was to make that top 8, make it back into the TPC. It's exactly what he did. Maybe a little bit too literal being top 8, but I'm sure I'm very excited to see what he does next set, especially with the way that he provides a lot of entertainment.
No more listening to chat. That is the
Yep.
major takeaway that I heard from our interview with him yesterday. For Bin Bin, what a major surprise coming through from the JOC. Someone who didn't necessarily have a lot of competitive history. So I feel like that was one where you say, well, maybe there's going to be some nice surprises here. And I never want to underestimate our JOC players because there's always one that comes in, like Weimu Lochu from last set, who actually came back to compete at the Lauren Legends Tactician's Crown, who came out of nowhere and then gets a 2nd place.
I think we've learned our lesson at this point. No underestimating JOC whatsoever. I want to give a shout to Leah as well. Without him, we would not have made it to this Game 5 in the first place. He clutched up when he needed to most. A top 5 from him, his best set ever, becoming a MIA regional champion, and now making it to top 5 in the TAC round as well. So just a really good showing from a player who was going to retire 4 or 5 sets ago, was very close to going away from TFT forever, decided to give it one more try, and now has had such a crazy career after that.
And Li Xiao being one of the CN representatives that's the most consistent, getting 4th in Inkborn Fables, now getting a 3rd place, so getting a little bit better, but just showing that he is consistent and will continue to be dominant every tournament he plays.
The scaling. Seems like Lee Sao is one of those players that's due for a Tactician's Crown win at some point as well. But all of these competitors today, I'm like really impressed with just some of the line selection that they made in the grand finals lobby. Obviously, there was a bit of contesting with something like the Demacia, but a lot of players saying, okay, well, maybe that I can't play that, but what if I flex into Mel, or I flex into Rise, or I try to play Shadow Isles because it's uncontested? It's just really cool, and that's what we expect to see at this high level, and I'm glad that these competitors could deliver.
Yeah, the real skill has been not what their final board looks like. I think everyone knows how to copy, the highest cap possible Rise board from any meta website. But the thing is the process to get there. How do you cleanly play on high tempo, know when to balance your resources and your HP? I think Saya has been a great example of that. Every single game, he has made it to a very strong high cap level 9 board throughout very different avenues. That's where the real skill comes in a attack round lobby like this one.
And I think maybe the biggest takeaway for me, AVP of your region, it might not matter. You get one in the finals. That's all it takes to take the crown home to the Americas. I'm so excited for Darth Nub, and just the way that he showed up and proved all the doubters wrong. I'm the doubters, by the way.
Well, guess what? You're going to be excited because we do have an interview with our Tactician's Crown winner, Darth Nub. Congratulations, man.
Ooh.
It's just such a pleasure to be able to see you achieve this height. How are you feeling? Oh, I see you're sitting. Is this the new emote, the Darth sit instead of the Darth walk?
Yeah, I mean, I gotta sit between games. It's kind of tiring to do all that.
Well, I mean, tell me about the emotion that you're feeling. When we last saw you at the Tactician's Crown in Into the Arcane, that was a 40th place for you. And I know you've been fighting really hard to come back here to prove yourself. And you got so close at the Paris Open, getting 11th. So now in this moment, what does it feel like to realize the dream?
I mean, it has not set in at all yet. At the end of the day, like, I kind of just feel like I won tournament. It's like, that's pretty cool. But I kind of feel like, over the next few hours, few days, I'm going to be celebrating. I'm going to be watching the tournament VODs, Broden's VODs. Like, I don't know, man. Like, it's going to be great. It's going to be a good time.
You got to take the time to soak it all in, because this is an achievement very few players can say that they've been able to do. And for you, did you feel any particular pressure knowing that you had a chance to prove yourself here? The regional run did not go the way that maybe you might have wanted it to, but you had this chance now at the TAC Crown.
Yeah, like, to be honest, like, my goal going into today was just to, be like kind of proud of like the way I played, because sometimes you just don't get the chance to win, right? Like, if Saya had ended it in game 4, I would have been pretty happy with how I had played my day 3. I would have felt that I represented NA as a region well. So, going into game 5, like, there was definitely a bit of like unease, right? Because now I have another chance to potentially win, but also potentially do some absolutely disgusting gameplay into an 8th, right? So,
well,
yeah.
I mean, Darth, you are a very first or 8th player. That's been kind of a trademark of your playstyle in TFT for some time now. And when we looked at our grand finals participants and even just the Tactician's Crown competitor roster as a whole, you stood out as one of the highest first or 8th rates across the field. So were you feeling kind of confident coming into Checkmate, or were you just like, no, I just love playing good games and getting the firsts when I can?
Yeah, I definitely felt confident going to Checkmate. I feel like if I get into a spot that's supposed to lead to a first, I'm just going to execute, and it's like a very relaxing time, right? Like, I know what I'm supposed to do, so I'll do it.
But when was it in the final game where you noticed, I won? Like, was there any moment before that final fight where you're like, oh, I got this in the bag?
Yeah, I mean, the first moment was when I saw win out on 3-2, and I was like, okay, like, it's win out in Scuttle Puddle. I can get the Baron, like, on 4-5. So, like, I have a path to victory, right? And then the second moment was, well, first of all, I saw Mori with a 3-star Yunara, and, I felt a bit of despair. It's like, oh, like, I did all this, and it's just not enough. And then he just died. So then I felt pretty good. Like, I scouted the lobby and I saw a bunch of these Rise boards, and like they were never going to beat me, right? So I kind of just realized that I won the game.
Your day today has been insane to watch. watching you take those Demacia long shot games and then saying, no, I'm actually going to slingshot myself into a third place. Talk to me about, like, were you feeling nervous at all knowing that, wow, you could be at the brink of elimination in these games, but then you're able to capitalize and convert over to those top 4 placements?
Yeah, those first 2 games were so crazy. Like, I felt like my spot was so bad in like stage
You know,
2
he
and
came in
3.
robberies those
I'm
first 2
going into
games.
like stage 4 with 2 lives, and I just have to claw my way out there, just playing my strongest board every stage, and just like winning every fight by like a millimeter. I feel like I played some good TFT, at least like post stage 4. So that felt really good.
Sometimes that's
Like,
all it
those
takes,
are
you
some
know?
good thirds.
They
Mhm.
were such good thirds. You got to pat yourself on the back for that one. I think that was the most impressive thing about today. And so I'm super excited for you. When it comes to your very like 1st or 8th place style, I'm wondering like how intentional is that? Is that something where you're going into a tournament and that's just the game plan, or is this kind of a recipe from the formats that you're playing? Is it more fun for you?
So to be honest, I don't really consider myself to be like that flippy of a player. It's just like, because I feel like most of my 8ths are because I don't really know what I'm doing or like what I'm supposed to do. So I feel like it's mostly just me playing like bad. Whereas like most of my first, like I'm just correctly piloting my spot, and it's like not that high risk, I feel. And so like for instance, like this tournament, I think I did a pretty good job of like mitigating a lot of my low rolls. And that's because I felt like had a pretty complete understanding of like the meta, uh, and like how to play the comps and how to really like uh, salvage placements. Whereas sometimes like I don't have that understanding, so I just kind of flounder and die.
You played a lot of Demacia. Was that
Mhm.
a part of the script going into the regional finals as well as the TAC crown? And what other prep did you do to get here?
Yeah, I mean, Demacia was definitely a comfort line. Like, I played a lot of Demacia long shots and scrims, and like the AP Demacia as well has been a comfort line for me for quite a while. So I was very happy to like get into these Demacia spots. And also, I don't know, like I kind of felt pretty bad about like 3-cost reroll, or at least my own performance on it throughout regionals and this tournament. So I think I personally wasn't like ecstatic to pull out a Mal's game or like a Darius game or a Jinx game, right? I feel like a lot of those games would end up like I'd much prefer they be Vayne or like AP Demacia. As for other prep, yeah, so I prepped going into this weekend with Cam, Weijin, and Revan, and I think they definitely helped me a lot in like very specific ways. For instance, the Demacia Freljord Rise comp was like the like highlight comp of this tournament, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't really know how to play it on day 1, but like I studied the VODs, like we studied the VODs after that, and like after that, I pulled out like 3 games of Demacia Freljord Rise on day 2, and had I not done that studying with them, yeah, like I would not have made it to day 3, right?
It's
So that was
the
really
hard
important.
work that goes in between days that ends up paying off. And, you know, I'm sure that you have a lot of kind words to say about your practice partners. Is there anything else that you want to say to the other people supporting you and the other people you might have prepped with?
Other people. Okay, I mean, the thing is, they were the only ones I actually prepared with, right? Like, it was like that group of 3 Worlds competitors. But I guess like overall, like the uncomp like TFT server with like Dehua, Weird, Defias Bro, Fortinator, like Coleman, like I've like been friends with those guys for a long time, and they've like always supported me. So shout out to them. Yeah.
Last couple things. Are you going to make a post on our Compete
I
TFT?
already did. Yeah.
You already did it? Oh my Well, I couldn't check. So, okay, well, everybody go look at that. And then, Darth, in terms of thinking about the things
They're
you want
not
to
fast
be
enough for him.
remembered by for TFT. You know, every competitor has had an augment go into the game. And so if you had to pick something, would it actually be something you would want to be known more for like your Demacia conversion gameplay or Void?
I mean, so in Paris, like I was all about the fast 10 Void, right? Yeah, I was spamming Void in Paris. So, and like I almost made it to the final lobby on a Baron game. It's just I couldn't hit the Baron too. So like I definitely think Baron and like Void has definitely been a big part of my gameplay throughout the entirety of set 16. So I definitely wouldn't mind being remembered by that.
I think that we're gonna have to think about another Baron's Lair oriented
Yeah.
augment for you. And then finally, Darth, what does the future of TFT look like for you?
I don't know. I mean, like all of a sudden, I probably have a lot of EWC points, so that's a thing. And I mean, I guess I'll try my best next set to get back to Worlds. You know, maybe go for the 2-peat.
That would be awesome. Darth Nub, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us after this victory. Hope you're able to get some rest. I know this has been very early days
Oh
for
my
you.
God. It's 4 a.m. What? Like, why do we care about European daylight savings time? What?
You not only had to go through daylight savings and regionals, you had to do it again
Yeah.
for the Tactician's crown, even
What
with
is
those
this?
nerfs.
Like, I got like 3 hours of sleep last night. I was like, oh my God.
Okay, well, you deserve it. Darth, thank you so much again. Congratulations on your win. Go enjoy it and celebrate it, and we are
Yeah,
looking
I'm a
forward to
world
seeing you
champ.
soon.
That's
Woohoo!
Oh
Alright.
man, so exciting.
That is amazing. It's just so cool because especially we come from the Americas broadcast and we've been following Darth for some time. I mean, he's been competing since like I can remember, like dating all the way back to Reckoning, maybe even before that. And so Darth's legacy in this game has been pretty long. And so to see him achieve something like this, I know he's been chasing it for a while and it's very exciting.
Yeah, prominent community member. He's a moderator on r/Compete TFT. After he won TC2, he went and posted, he's like, hey, this guy won a tournament, and it was just like him posting it, and he said he already posted. I just love to see the victory lap and just engaging the community in that way. He's just a great guy. He's a stats guy. He does these raps at the end of the sets. It's fantastic.
You have to imagine he had the post preloaded just in case he wants to just hit like one button, post. Okay,
He's writing it during game.
I'm ready to go look at that after this. But that's going to do it for us here for Lore and Legends. It was so amazing to kick off this set in the Paris Open, and now we end it here at the Tactician's Crown. What's next? Well, that's set 17, Space Gods, which you can get access to on April 15th. We cannot wait to see you there. Thank you all so much for watching. To our competitors for being able to put on such a good show for us. To all of us behind production, we want to say thank you. And we will see you all next set in Space Gods.
show anything here or no? April 15. Okay, that's it for now. I'm going to be on later for more Chat 17 stuff.